This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 599 for the week of Sunday, December 8th, 2019. My name is Zach.
And my name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
And my name is Alex.
On this week's episode, we have very special guest. He's translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump, Stephen Paul. How's it going, Stephen?
It's going good. No chapter, but you still got me.
Yeah, we'll be back with 965 next week. We also have with us David Bednar is back 2 weeks in a row. Nice to talk to you, David.
Hey, I don't know what the term twice in a row. I guess that's just coincidence.
Yes,
but it's a real pleasure to be back.
It's fate. Nice to have you here. We also are going to be having one of the animators on One Piece. As well as a series ranging from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5 to Super Jail. Ed, are there more credits that I should be mentioning? I know there's a lot. But
there are a lot of credits. We talked with Henry for an hour, and
yeah.
He is a very interesting guy. He's got a studio that he's a partner in now that he'll be talking about in the interview. But it's he's a very interesting guy. Zach would like him. He's a fellow New Yorker, and I don't know if anyone's ever gone into such detail about how One Piece is produced from an animation perspective. There's really
so
something here that
there's
something here that you won't be able to find pretty much anywhere else.
Yeah, and if I don't sound as crisp as usual, I normally don't like bringing that to people's attention, but here I am. I was having a little issue, which is why Ed and the whole gang were able to pick up that interview for us, but I'm still joining for the rest of the show. Since I have been away for way too long, and I can't be away for that long or else I start melting into a pile of goop. But we do have Henry Thurlow on today. I'm very excited to hear that interview. We also have an all-trivia episode of the One Piece podcast after that, and that's why we have David back. We're also going to get through your Stump OPP questions that we have not yet gotten through, so we're going to try and get through all of those. We'll see how that works out. So we'll be here for another 5 hours. And looking forward to that. So with that out of the way, you ready to get into this really amazing interview that Ed was just talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Romance Dawn segment, where we talk to a guest or a friend about One Piece. The nice thing about this segment is that our guests don't normally need to have caught up on One Piece, but we like to talk to them about One Piece and to see what makes them tick, their origin when it comes to the series. And this week we actually have a really special guest. I could say that our guest is caught up on One Piece. You could say even that he works on One Piece because he does. Our guest this week is Henry Thurlow. Henry, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Actually, I want to start off with some recent news. I saw on Twitter that you worked on the sort of the Kaido emerging from the sky segment from this past week's anime episode. Is that true?
Yeah, so episode 913, it's the second time I worked on the show. The first time I worked on it was a couple months back. It was like the sumo fight. And then this week I worked on not the transformation, but that was 912. 913 was the one where at the end of the episode it's the newest episode, he blasts the castle. When he's chasing Shutenmaru, through the city, those were a few of my cuts. There's one long cut where he's winding through the sky and then kind of does a barrel roll and spins around. Those were my sequences.
Awesome. I just watched that before we started because I knew we were going to do an anime recap today. So, that's awesome. But let's go back a little bit further into the past. When did you get into One Piece? Were you into anime before, or was One Piece your first love?
I was definitely into anime way before. I guess in a bit we'll talk about probably just how I got into working in anime in general. But as far as One Piece specifically goes, I was in college and basically illegal downloading of stuff had just started. Like torrents weren't even a thing. I was on IRC and just like trying to find every anime that I possibly could. But up to this point, everything that I had seen anime-wise was all on VHS or DVDs that I bought. So it was whatever was available in the States, right? But I went to college, IRC, and kind of torrents started emerging. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, wow, I can watch anime that isn't licensed, that I'm not supposed to see. This is so adventurous, you know, this is so, what is it, foreign, you know? So I was watching every single thing I possibly could at that point. And One Piece was just one of the random ones that I downloaded in the process there. But the second the first 5 seconds after watching it, I was like, what is this weird anime in this weird style, right? Because I'm a big fan of like the old 80s and 90s, like super ultra violent, ultra detailed.
You a big Kawajiri fan?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Crazy Kawajiri fan. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when I saw One Piece, I'm like, what is this? You know, because I like anime in part because it's not stuff for kids that all the Western animation is. But then this One Piece, you know, it's kind of, I don't know, is this a kiddie show? Like the style isn't exactly what I was expecting, but whatever, you know, at this point in my life, I'm just watching everything, right? To, I don't know, have all the credit for being the person who's seen the most anime in my college or something, right? So after watching a couple episodes, though, I was like, no, this is actually really good. Like in just a couple episodes, they hooked me to like really want to see where the characters' stories go. Like Luffy's, you know, first few episodes were interesting enough, but then when Zoro came into it, I was like, oh man, like I'm pretty hooked on this series. I want to see where it goes. At that time, though, I didn't know it was going to be a big, long thing. Like, you know, nowadays when a new anime comes out, I can quickly go online and find out, is this a long-running shonen series or is this an OVA? Is it, you know, announced as a 1-core anime series, a 2-core anime series? At that time, I didn't have any idea what it was. I'm just like, who knows? Maybe this thing will be 10 episodes. Maybe it'll be 50 episodes. But let's just keep going. And then it just kept going and going and going into infinity. But I mean, I'm happy it did. So that's how I got into One Piece. And it didn't take many episodes until I was pretty hooked.
Oh, that's great. Now, as far as getting into animation goes, is being an animator something that you've wanted to do since you were a kid, or was this something that you kind of arrived on over time? This dream of yours, so to speak.
Yeah. So I always knew I wanted to be an artist. That's all I've ever wanted to be. I literally have never wanted to do anything else. When I was there are some drawings we have, like little cutouts at my mom's house that like I drew when I was 5 and like sent to the newspaper of like little monsters and dragons and stuff like that. And then first grade when I heard the story from my parents, like when they were trying to figure out, you know, like what kind of class I was supposed to get into, or, you know, what my interests were early on. They took me around and was like, all right, so let's see, are you interested in doing this? Are you interested in doing this? Here's a paper and pencil. Try drawing something. Maybe you're interested in that. And like I got the paper and pencil, and then I just kept drawing and like drawing characters from like the side angle and stuff like that, not stick figures that all like other first graders draw. And they're just like, he will not put that pencil down. Like, I think he's into art. And then art was just always the class that I enjoyed the most. I took, I didn't do like extracurricular sports. I mean, I did a little bit in elementary school, but the extracurricular art stuff is what I enjoyed the most. So I didn't know if I wanted to be a comic book artist or a fine artist or whatever. I just knew that I wanted to draw. And, you know, what are you going to do when you grow up? I'm going to draw these pictures, you know, and I was saying that when I was in 3rd grade, and it never changed. So I actually there's a lot of people. I meet a lot of people in life, or at least did, in high school, where they're not sure what they want to do. It's like, oh man, we're graduating next year. What do you want to do with your life? And I never understood people like that. Like I'm not insulting them. I can't wrap my head around it. I can't comprehend it because for me, naturally, I just look inside and I know for a fact this is not only what I want to do, but the only thing I will do. I utterly refuse to do anything else. This is obviously what I want to do with my life. And I feel like everyone must have that. Like, the answer might not be art for someone else. The answer might be, I don't know, I want to be a fireman or I want to be a teacher or something like that. But I feel like when you look inside, you're just like, oh, this is the thing I want to do. And I wake up every single day for my entire life. I guess people don't, though, because, I still hear a lot of people saying, oh, I'm not sure if this is the right path for me and stuff like that. But for me, I always knew it was art. And then I knew it was animation when actually I saw, I was in, I think, 6th grade, which was too young to watch this, but there was the HBO Spawn series.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Spawn. And I saw that and I was like, what is this? Like, in the past, I had, I'd watched all the Disney movies and lots of animation. I'd probably seen a few anime up until that point as well, like the 2 Unico movies. And I don't know, some stuff that would be on TV. From
there was
time to time.
HBO had some anime occasionally in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a few things I had seen, and I noticed that the style was interesting, but I didn't really know exactly what it was. But even that, I mean, as much as I liked those animations, they didn't make me say, oh, this is the art form that I want to choose. But that Spawn show, I was just like. This is the most violent, curse-filled thing I've ever seen in my life. And as a 6th grader, of course, I'm loving it. Blood spraying everywhere. Like, the guy's face is all burnt off. He's like a zombie, but he's the good guy. Like, and he's fighting like these giant horned demons, like straight up from hell that are, swearing the entire fight scene. And I was just like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. I need more of this. So that show is only 6 episodes, or at least the first season. And then after it, I was like, okay, I need more. Where's more? And that's when I found out we don't really produce anything like that in the West. Because beyond the Spawn show, there was like Aeon Flux and maybe the Heavy Metal movie, but then like maybe some Ralph Bakshi stuff a little bit. But then that's it, done. Like, we don't make stuff like that. But there's this really, really similar thing. In fact, really cooler in a lot of ways, called anime. Like, in the anime section of the video store, the style was a bit different than Spawn, but it was still really detailed, animations that were, I mean, some were comedies and not super adult, but then there was plenty of super adult stuff there as well.
Yeah.
And so
Ninja
I was
Scroll
like,
would be one.
Yeah. So throughout the years there, or those few years at the 6th grade, 7th, 8th, maybe 9th, like around there, I watched every single thing. I definitely rented every single anime that was available at like all of my neighboring video stores: Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, Easy Video, if ringing any bells for people around my age. And yeah, so like, I mean, I could just ramble off different titles, but yeah, all the Kawajiri stuff, Ghost in the Shell, Record of Lodos War, Doomed Megalopolis.
When I was
dude, I rewatched Doomed Megalopolis not too long ago. That show is it's very stylish, but doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. And
Absolutely
regarding
not.
Record of Lodos War, when I was in college, everybody I knew had a copy of it on DVD. It was sort of a like, if you liked anime, then you needed a copy of Lodos War for sure.
Now I'm showing my age because it was way before the DVD. I had the VHS box set, like when it was probably new.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the heyday of Central Park Media. Yeah.
Yeah. Manga Entertainment. I remember. Yeah, those Central Park Media and Manga. Like, they had 2 or 3 versions of, like, there was like a song playing and all the and like all of their titles.
Oh yeah,
were,
yeah.
like,
I have a second Twitter handle that I do weeb trailers, and I've ripped a lot of those and I put those on Twitter over the last year or so. Just all sorts of old stuff.
From that, I mean, it was obviously really good advertising because none of the video stores around me had Demon City Shinjuku, but in one of those music video like trailer, openings at the beginnings of their VHS, Demon City Shinjuku was there, and it had like the demon coming out of the side of the train, and I was like just to show you my mindset, I saw a demon face coming out of the side of a train and like attacking a guy with a sword. And I was like, I need it. Where is it? Like, I have to have that. Like, that was exactly what I wanted at that point. And so I went to Suncoast Video and I put in like an order for the VHS, and it took like 2 weeks to get there or something. Cause I guess no one in my area had that, but yeah, I tracked that one down. I watched that to death too. Mm-hmm. Vampire Hunter D was another one.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you made the choice to go to art school, did you stay in the States, or did you go abroad when you decided to train to be an animator?
So no, my plan was actually never to go to Japan. So as much as I liked anime, So just to kind of continue, so I was just talking about those VHS and the OVAs and stuff, but then I got into Dragon Ball Z and Rurouni Kenshin, and and Pokemon came out in the States, and anime was getting really, really popular, and way more stuff was being licensed. DVDs came out, and then there was like tons more available than was ever available. My impression, as I think this is probably what most American animators who are into anime thought, and probably to this day still think when they're young and going to college. I thought, well, the industry is going to recognize that anime is super popular, right, and sells like crazy. So we're going to start producing our own stuff like this. I don't need to move to the other side of the world. I mean, I'd never even been out of the country. I'm from New York, and I've been to Canada like once or twice, to Niagara Falls. But beyond that, I've never been out of the country at that point. And so moving to Japan or learning a new language is the farthest thing in my mind, right? I'm going to go to college. I'm going to try my best, try to be at the top of the class. If I'm not at the top of the class, then I need to work harder, just study more. And if I try really hard, I graduate, I have as good of a portfolio as I possibly can, then naturally the studios around here in New York, I'm thinking at the time, are going to be producing their own Ghost in the Shells, right? So in the future...
What do you think of Castlevania?
I like it. So finally now there's a couple projects, right? Castlevania is really cool. But I'll just say this, like it still just stands alone. So it's unbelievable and amazing that Powerhouse Animation, the studio behind Castlevania, makes Castlevania, and they did Seis Manos too, the other Netflix show recently. And that one also, is an adult-oriented animation produced for the most part in the West, right there, right in America. That's amazing, but even still, so one studio's doing it. So just to backtrack a minute, I graduate college and I realize no one is doing what I thought they were doing. Like, no one is producing the adult stuff at all. Or it doesn't even need to just be adult. Like, I keep saying adult. Like, of course, I do like my super violent fight scenes, but that's not all I care about. Like, I love the Satoshi Kon movies, including the non-violent ones, Millennium Actress and Paprika. There's no blood or fighting or anything like that in those. Not really. But they're amazing. They're just like beautiful works of art. Tokyo Godfather is another one of his. No blood, no gore, anything like that. But it's just a gorgeous project. I'm thinking, one of the studios here in New York or in America must be making something like that. But I graduate and I realize, no, not at all. I get, but I still want to work in the anime industry. So I figure out what I need to do to get work there. I do get some work there, on like Flash projects. A lot of stuff that's not even worth mentioning, just like little designs for websites and things like that. I was lucky enough to get to work on, I worked on a couple Dora the Explorer PC games, funny enough. And then from there, I went to Augenblick Studios and I worked on the first season of Super Jail. And Super Jail is about as close to what I would have wanted to work on as the West produces, right? So the style isn't super detailed anime drawings or anything like that.
Steve's about to ask you on his other show for the Adult Swim podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Possibly.
I'll do that too. I mean, I have a lot of really good memories from that one. I really, really enjoyed working on Super Jail. And it's funny, I really enjoyed everyone I was working with. Working at Augenblick Studios was really great. Like all the people there, I really became friendly with over the course of the year that I was working with them. And I did like the show. I mean, it wasn't exactly what I wanted, it wasn't exactly Ninja Scroll, but it was, it was pretty funny. And I was definitely not doing little kid stuff on that show. But season 1 ended, and there's this big gap between season 1 and season 2, and they ended up changing production studios to Titmouse. And in that gap, like, so Super Jail season 1 ended. Now I need to go back to working on, like, okay, this website needs a 30-second webtoon of, some, not even traditionally done, stick figure-esque characters, saying hello to one another, and there's one joke or something like that. And I'm just like, what is this project, right? So in that time, I forget which, Anime NYC. There was an anime. It wasn't called Anime NYC back then, I don't think.
New York Anime Fest?
Yeah, probably that. And it was Hideyuki Kikuchi, the author for Vampire Hunter D and Demon City Shinjuku, was attending as a guest and had like a birthday dinner, right? And if you shilled out a little bit extra money, then you could be at the table with him, having a birthday dinner with him. And it was right when Super Jail was ending, and I went there, and I didn't know any Japanese at the time or anything like that, and I really did go just to attend as like a fan, right? And I was just gonna be like, oh, I love Demon City Shinjuku and everything like that. And his translator, Kevin Leahy, was there. And Kevin Leahy translates all the Vampire Hunter D books into English, right? And some other Hideyuki Kikuchi stuff as well. And so I ended up speaking with Kevin a lot of the night, because obviously I can't speak Japanese. So I go through the translators to speak with Kikuchi Sensei a little bit. But I was asking Kevin, like, you're an American, but you're living in Japan and you're working on, like, it's not an anime franchise necessarily, it's a book series, but your book, you're kind of working on an anime, right? Like, you're working on Vampire Hunter D. How is that possible? And he's like, well, yeah. And so I heard a lot of advice from him that night. And, the gist of it was, well, look, if you want to work on the projects being made in Japan, you first have to just be in Japan. So if you're there, then it is actually possible. It's not totally impossible. You do have to be around where the jobs are, though. And then I was like, yeah, but how am I supposed to get out to Japan? Like, I can't. I don't know the language or anything like that. And it was advice that I heard from him, though, particularly the JET program. So, like, it's like a English teaching kind of jobs program. Like the JET program searches for English speakers who are willing to go to the rural areas of Japan and teach English, essentially. There's a lot of foreigners in Tokyo and Osaka to an extent. We got to meet a JET teacher at when we were in Tokyo, at the Tokyo Tower. I think he had come from Tochigi to meet us there. Was he a jet?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
that's right.
So
Greg is also a jet.
Still?
Oh, really?
Oh, I mean, at one point he was in the program. I think he's working independently for a school district now. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess he's a jet in terms of just like, I guess once a jet, always a jet.
When you're a jet for life. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Ed.
West Side Story.
Anyway.
But so long story short, I signed up for that program because they would essentially get me over to Japan, even though it was doing a job that wasn't animation related. But I never thought I'd get it. I'm like, oh, I'll apply for this because, I heard it as a suggestion, but, this isn't going to happen. Why would they take me? I'm an animator. I don't have any teaching experience. And then over the course of the following year, I just kept getting emails back saying, oh, you've been moved up to the next step. You've been moved up to the next step. Oh, you're considered for this and this. And I'm like, yeah. You're gonna cancel me. Say no right at the last minute. I'm sure. I can't imagine you'd accept me. But then like a year later, they got back to me and it's like, I was actually apparently not accepted in the first round, but I was like the second or third choice, and then a bunch of people dropped out. But so in that process, the time that I was going to be sent to Japan kept getting shorter and shorter. And so I got an email one day that was like, Henry, we can send you to Japan, and you'll be living there and working there. But here's the thing, you have to move next month. And I was like, fine, done. Like, I just dropped everything, like, okay, deal. Like, I didn't even consider it for 1 second. I was like, if you're going to offer me this crazy deal, and now I'm back working in the anime industry, not on anything really fun. Super Gel was over. There was no guarantee for another season coming. I recognized that we're really not producing the stuff I want to produce. So if I ever want to work on the kind of projects I wanted to work on, I have to go. I just have to say yes and move to Japan right now. And I didn't have any connections in Japan or anything, but I just said yeah, and then immediately started making phone calls to move the following month. Moved to Japan, worked as a jet for a couple years, and then got really serious with studying Japanese and learning the culture because I knew that if I was going to apply to anime studios in Tokyo, I had to interview in Japanese. So I have to be really good at Japanese if I'm going to do this. And so my life over the course of the next few years was just, learn Japanese, live in Japan, get used to everything, get ready for being interviewed. And then I don't know how long you want me to make the story. There's like the long and short versions. The super quick version is I kept reworking my portfolio again and again and again, but then eventually I cracked in. Obviously, there's a lot of details in there.
Right.
You're interested.
So what was how long have you been working on Japanese productions? Like what's been the highlight for you?
The very first production I worked on, like the very first sequence that they put in front of me to work on as an in-between animator was the first season and I think the second episode of Gundam Build Fighters. And then immediately after that was the Pokemon The Origin, television special.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
That was the first one I was credited in. I was credited in Japanese in katakana Hindi Sado. But so I've been working in the industry since that Pokemon special, essentially. And I worked as an in-between animator at a studio called Nakamura Pro, and then I worked at Studio Piero on Naruto, Tokyo Ghoul, Akatsuki no Yona. Like that, I worked at Piero for a little over a year, and it was a really good year to work at Piero because, I got to work on all those projects that they were producing at the time. The Naruto The Last movie, I worked on it, and I slowly just kept moving up the ladder, in terms of what my position was. So I worked for a few years as in-between animator, and then started doing secondary key animation sequences when they would pass them to me. And then one of the reasons I left Piero, because that was a hard decision, because I really did like working at Piero, and I recognized, it's a real honor to work for this big famous studio. They they seemed to. It seemed like it was going to take me a really long time to move up to key animator if I had stayed there. Like their in-house animators, I mean, everyone's different based on, their skill level and things like that. But generally, you probably work there for years as an in-between animator before moving up. And there were faster ways to move up to key animator if I worked for smaller, less famous studios. So then I worked for a small studio called Bang Bang Animation for a little while. Then I worked as a freelancer. And so I just kind of kept moving up. So to catch you up with what I'm doing now, though, in my process of interviewing for anime studios and trying to crack into the industry, like years earlier, I met Arthel Isom, who is a background artist who was working in the industry a lot longer than me, obviously. He was working there when I was still trying to crack in. And I was like, oh, you're an American. You cracked into the anime industry. He's working as a background artist for right under Hiromasa Ogura, the art director of Ninja Scroll and Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and he was working on different production IG productions, A Letter to Momo, things like that.
That's a really good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. The stuff he worked on was like A+, top notch, like IG material, and he gave me a lot of pointers, and we became really good friends. And I knew that, in just being his friend and talking to him, like his end goal was to create a studio one day. And so as I'm working as a key animator freelance, one thing led to another, and the timing just worked out so that I had this Indigo Ignited pilot film project that could be produced. And, I was like, this is a perfect time to start that studio, and I'll get in on the ground level with you. And, we can try to build this thing together if you're interested. And of course he was. It worked out perfectly for him too, because he was kind of working freelance at the time as well. He had left the studio that he was working at for years. And so we essentially he's the CEO. I'm the essentially director of the projects that we produce in-house for a studio called De Art Stadio. So now, we've kind of got our own studio there in Shinjuku. And we still do help out on productions of lots of different anime, obviously, because we participated in One Piece this week. In this case, it was only me, but sometimes a whole bunch of our artists all participate in a project. Like on the more recent Tokyo Ghoul seasons, we participated in that too, and it wasn't just me; it was a handful of key animators from our studio.
That's great.
But yeah, so we try, for the most part, we try to produce our own stuff. We produce like commercials, and pilot films, things like that. Bigger stuff to come, but so far just kind of shorter length things. The biggest production we've done so far is there's a Netflix anthology made by the producer of the Animatrix. This one's called Sound and Fury. It's Sturgill Simpson, his new album. Every single music video is animated straight through. So there's 10 anime music.
It's like Interstellar 4.5.
Exactly like
Great.
that. Yeah. And they're all linked by Interstellar 555 was what was it 555? I forget.
4.5. Yeah.
4.5.
Yeah.
The Interstellar one was like start to finish the exact same story. Sound and Fury does have a linking storyline. All the linking storyline parts were done by Kamikaze Doga, the studio the 3D studio that did like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the 3D openings and stuff. Yeah. But then there's a whole handful of guest directors. And so Michael Arias, the director of Tekkan Concrete, did one. Koji Morimoto did one. And then our studio, De Art Stadio, did two. So Arthel directed one of them, and then I directed another one. So that was kind of our biggest thing so far, working on two of the segments of this big anthology project.
That's really great. Yeah, a friend of mine linked me to the article that this was coming out the other day, and I was pretty stoked about it. It looked really great.
It's on Netflix.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's on Netflix now, so and everyone can just check it out.
That's awesome. So I was wondering if, I guess back to One Piece a little bit. If you'd care to, I guess, sort of explain the process by which you work with the director on, or at least with the director on the episodes that you have worked on. Of course, you and Steve can probably talk shop a little more. But I just think it'd be interesting because to see how similar or different the process is between over here and over there where you're working currently.
Yeah. Steve, you want to ask me something specific, or you want me to just take it from there?
Something I forgot to ask a while back. I'm curious, where do you go to school?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I went to the Delaware College of Art and Design.
Okay.
DCAD, and then to Pratt Institute back in New York City. So I went down to Delaware for a couple of years and then back up to New York. The Delaware College of Art and Design is like affiliated with Pratt, and the thought process was I'll get the first couple of years of Pratt much cheaper, right? Because if you go to DCAD, you essentially can very easily get to one of the schools that they're affiliated to. But in the end, I think I enjoyed DCAD more than Pratt. Pratt, I was just another random face in the crowd for most of my classes. I had a good thesis class, but for the most part, I was a nobody just walking around, and there was no kind of personal touch to my training. But DCAD, it was really small classes, and I really actually enjoyed it. It ended up being a really good experience. Like most of my lifelong friends were all made down at DCAD. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's definitely more of those smaller classes. I definitely benefit way more from those. But geez, I'm trying to remember what exactly Alex asked me there because
animation production.
Yeah, let's see. Steve, you're a boarder. Henry, you're an in-betweener. How do you interact with your directors exactly? Once you, I'm just very interested in the process that's involved with what exactly that it is that you do. Well,
first I was an in-betweener, but then now I'm a key animator. So
so you do the key stuff now. Great.
Yeah. The position breakdown is really different from the West and Japan, I feel. I feel like maybe it's not as different in Korea and other places. So, and that's why a lot of the Western companies that do get assistance from, Asian companies usually use Korean studios because I think the process is a little bit more relatable. In Japan, who does what position? It's broken up in completely awkward parts if you're starting from a Western mindset. Because even the in-between animators, in the West, I would always get something handed to me, right? Even if I was the key animator in the West, I would still get something handed to me. There would be a background layout finished or one drawing completely done. So the layout would be ready to go, and now I need to move the character, right? Something along those lines. But in Japan, even the in-between animator has to trace over and make the final version of every in-between themselves and then in-between. And the biggest position, the one that I do now, and it's like a ton of responsibility, it's like crazy, is Genga. So Genga, I guess the easiest translation is key animator, but it's way beyond that. So basically, the storyboard artist, is often actually the episode director also, but sometimes it's not. The key animator, the Gengamon, meets with the episode director, and the episode director hands him usually very rough storyboards. I mean, it could even be stick figures or just very scribbly. And it's like, okay, here, and then we have a production meeting called an uchiawase in Japanese. And the episode director just runs through exactly what's happening in each sequence. And if there's anything that he wants you to add from the storyboards or take out from the storyboards or edit to the storyboards. So, okay, look at this sequence, this character's talking to this character runs to the left. Oh, but actually it's drawn, the character runs to the left in the storyboards, but could you have him run to the right? Because actually that's where the object that he's going to is. Okay, so make some extra notes. This is where he needs to go. These are the model sheets. Oh, up until this point, actually, the character was in a fight, though, so those battle scars aren't in the, in the character model sheets. So let me explain that to you. And they'll just in great detail explain to you what you have to make for your sequences. And then the Gengamon, the key animator, needs to draw everything. So it's not just the characters. You have to lay out the backgrounds, the angle. You have to rough in all the character artwork, all the character shadows and highlights. You need to then move all the characters, time them out how best you feel, while also, doing what the episode director told you. Then you need to fill out the timesheets yourself. You also need to make all the marks in Japanese all over the layout pages, like, this is this character, this weapon is damaged here. Just little details. This is secondary key shadow, not normal shadow. Little notes all over the place. If there's elements that need computer, work later on in it, like the buildings in the background are, sliding or something like that to create, an illusion of space. The Gengamon needs to basically put a new piece of paper or a new layer if you're working digitally, which will be the camera work layer. And then there'll just be all these like notes about where the camera goes and what the people are supposed to do and what effects you want them to use later on. And then you hand all that in, and that's just the first round. So then everyone checks what you did, right? So the director will check it, the animation director will check it, possibly more people beyond that will even check it. And then you'll get it back. So half your work is done once you hand in all that. But then when you get their corrections back, and their corrections range, it could be anything. Their corrections could be a few sentences, like this all looks good, just get rid of the one layer of shadow, or this all looks good, but use this character model sheet instead of this. We passed you the wrong one during the Uchiwase. Or it might be like new rough drawings over everything, and it's like your scene has been changed quite significantly. Please make the final look like this. And I think, by the way, I want to mention, like, I think some fans of like Sakuga online, I think they don't. I've seen some comments like, "Oh, it looks like so-and-so's scene got corrected," or something like that. The correction is part of the process. It doesn't even mean like the layout artist did a bad job. Sometimes when it gets sent back, like the episode director just had a vision of like the angle being a little different or something like that. And it's okay. I mean, it's obviously a little stressful for the key animator because they have a lot of work to do on the next round of work. But I mean, that is part of the process. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person did a bad job. It could. I mean, if a person hands in bad art and bad animation, then the episode director and the animation director make a million changes and go, change these 150 million things. We didn't like it. But if they add corrections, it doesn't necessarily mean that the layouts are bad. It could just mean that, they had a slightly different vision and in the final they'd like it altered. And then you have to go through all of it again, essentially, and draw it really, really crisp this second time around with all of the notes in mind. And that's called secondary key animation. So sometimes you see people credited as just secondary key animation. That's because there's so much anime being produced now that very often the key animator can't do that second part of the process if they're in the middle of some other work and can't go back to that first project or that first set of sequences, then a second person might go through and help out with finalizing the whole sequence. And if they do just that work, then they get credited as secondary key animator. It's still a really important job, but it's a little different than if you were handed just a blank piece of paper and needed to lay out everything from zero, which is the key animator, the Gengaman's position.
Wow. Sorry, I'm just impressed with just like how much how in great detail you went into like a process that I gotta admit I'm not too familiar with. So
that was very thorough.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just to like reiterate something you said, like, yeah, like often, and I'm doing boards. It's nothing like cleanup animation, but sometimes, yeah, my director will change up some panels I drew, and it's not like I drew something bad. He's like, I was envisioning this angle, or I think it would work better and like looking like this. So yeah, it's not as how can I put this? It's not as glamorous or as scandalous as others online would make it out to be. It's just sometimes like, what's this going on?
You're just being hard on yourself. You're being hard on yourself because, if you're an anime fan working in the animation industry in the West, I mean, I know for a fact because I was there, Some people working in the West don't really like anime and they really just love to death what they're doing from morning till night, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the anime fans, I know, like, you probably want to kind of work on more anime stuff, probably, right? And so you're just hard on yourself when you look down and that's not what you're drawing. But, dude, I mean, I haven't even seen what you do, but I'm sure you do an awesome job. And that's the job you have to do, right? I couldn't hand in anime and draw the super detailed stuff when I was working there, and you can't do that either. You have a job to do, and you do what you have to. So trust me, you're doing an awesome job. You don't need to be hard on yourself.
Thank you. I will say this though, like, yeah, being an anime fan, I've worked on some shows that are very I'm trying to think of the right term here. Just very your everyday kind of life. What am I thinking of here? I hate when words fail me here. Nothing very sitcom-y, just something like that. And then just a moment where slice of life, suburban, if you will. I don't know. So the chance I do when I get to do an action scene, yeah, I will go ham. And sometimes there's been, I know there's been some shows I worked on where I'm like, I'm just gonna go all out and I'll let them tell me what I can and can't do. And then sometimes they're like, this is great, we're gonna go with this. And I was like, oh shit, all right. So like I felt happy, like I was like going for crazy like 180 camera turns, and they're like, yeah, let's do this. And I'm like, oh wow. All right, I'll let you guys worry about that. But I will say, like, some of the stuff lately I've been working on, I'm getting to do a little bit of my I don't want to say anime, I'd say like very actiony stuff, because I like my blend of both there. But I forget, because you talk so much. I'm not saying you say you've told us so much.
I ramble.
No. Everything you told us is fantastic. I'm just curious. I forget if we let into how you got on One Piece, or. I think that, because I mean, yeah, we could be here. We could talk so much about everything. But I'm definitely, and I'm sure the fans are also curious, like, what led to you working on One Piece, which is only fairly recently.
Right. Yeah. I've only worked on a couple episodes of that, and really recently in the last few months. So, funny enough, to link with the story I already told about meeting Kevin Leahy in the States there at the Hideyuki Kikuchi event. See, everything's linked. Everything, because actually going to that event did lead to One Piece, essentially. So when I came to Japan, I didn't have any connections, right? I didn't have any friends here or anything like that. But the one person I did know, or the two people I did know living here, was Hideyuki Kikuchi and Kevin Lee, who I had met at that event, right? So I contacted Kevin when I got here and was like, oh, just to let you know, like, that one meeting we had ended up sending me to Japan. And, now I'm here. Isn't that cool? And he's like, oh, man, we should definitely meet up. There's actually a Hideyuki Kikuchi event in Kabukicho every few months. It's a talk live event. You go and it's like a talk show. He talks just to fans, and the whole night you're just drinking at a bar and just chatting. And he's like, we should meet there. And there's also a lot of his fans who are also industry people there. And so you might meet some animators and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, man, that sounds like a cool event. So I went there, and early on I met Kakudo Hiroyuki, who is he's the director of Digimon, of the first 2 seasons of Digimon. And so he works at Toei, right? He's a director at Toei.
Sure.
And so I see him like every few months. And I became friendly with him. And I always had it in the back of my head, one day I'm going to, ask him to introduce me to some work from Toei, right? But I don't want to ask a favor and then, disappoint with what I hand in. So I want to make sure I'm really, really confident in my skills when I eventually, approach connection. Not just him. I have various connections like in the industry. Before I ever ask for a favor, I want to make sure I can really deliver what I'm promising. So in my first few years after cracking into the industry, I wasn't super confident. Like, I know I'm working on anime and, I'm trying my best, but I don't, sometimes my sequences come back and they still need some correcting and stuff. I don't want to ask for favors unless I'm, definitely confident in my skills. So I just kept putting off One Piece. Like, I've been a fan of One Piece all these years, and I probably could have asked years ago and, worked on it to some extent, but I just kept putting it off out of fear a little bit. Like, when I work on One Piece, I have to make sure, like, I do a really good job, because it's not just a random company I'm working for. Like, it's a company with like a friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
there. And so I kept putting it off. But then this last summer I was like, I'm pretty, like, I haven't gotten heavy corrections in a long time. Like, everything's been just being completely okayed right off the bat when I hand it in for the last couple of years. And so I think I'm ready. And so I kind of, I finally, called up some connections, saw, who I could be introduced to, and then just started taking some One Piece work then. For the studio, though, I should keep mentioning Gay Art Stadio, the studio we're doing, because it actually, all the work I do now goes through there. I don't really work as freelancer anymore. So our studio was employed for a couple One Piece episodes, yeah, via that connection. And I'm glad I waited this long, just because, I feel like the work I hand in now is pretty decent. And so I'm glad I could give them good work and not, mediocre stuff.
And I really appreciate you posting some of your stuff on Twitter. It's honestly, I think it's the first time I've seen these pictures of like One Piece animation, like at least like the modern stuff. I know, like Tokyo Tower, they have like, copies of all like the old boards from We Are, but this is the first time I'm seeing like modern One Piece, like rough animation, and just it's just something else. And I'm I just can't help but be thankful for you for just like bridging that gap for a lot of Western fans, and maybe just fans in general.
No problem. Yeah, I every studio has kind of different rules in terms of posting that stuff. I worked on Overlord for Madhouse, and I asked them if I could post stuff, and they had like, you have to write all of these things, labeling like who owns the rights and all this stuff. But if you write this message, then you're allowed to post. And different places had different rules. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was like, you have to wait until it comes out on Netflix or something 2 weeks later. So One Piece, I don't think I can post. I haven't gotten any kind of okay to post like rough animation, like in terms of GIF images, like moving. But it seems like a few select images like that was okay. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoy them.
course, looking forward to more.
It's great. I think we have to wrap up pretty shortly, but something that I've actually kind of wondered is, what's the turnaround time for work like that?
Oh yeah.
It varies from project to project, but honestly, like really fast. I don't know if I want to go into too many specifics like that. Because if I say how realistically harsh the deadlines can be, fans online might take it out on the studio. How could you put those conditions on the animators? But pretty fast turnarounds. I said that there was a couple stages of doing Genga, doing all the layout, and then you have to do secondary key animation when the stuff comes back. It's you get a maybe couple weeks possibly for the first part of the process, but then when that stuff comes back and you need to finalize all those drawings, ideally you get another few weeks, but sometimes that deadline is like sometimes the air date is within days, and it's like you need to do the final of all these stuff like right now and just like seriously turn it around within 2 or 3 days. So it depends. It depends on the project. With One Piece, with this most recent episode, I will say the schedule wasn't super harsh, which meant I had a little bit more time to go crazy with adding all those extra shadow layers. But the deadlines in anime industry is no joke at all. Like you might get something back and it's like, this needs to be in 18 hours, literally. And it's like, how am I supposed to do that? Start working.
Wow.
I don't envy you. But yeah, it definitely takes
Takes a village.
It takes a village and takes a lot of fortitude. So
all right. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you, Henry, for coming on the show, and we'd love to have you back at any point in the future if you get to work on One Piece again.
Yeah. Yeah, Henry, if you want to plug anything, where people could find you on Twitter or stuff you want people to check out,
Yeah. So yeah, like one last little rant here.
Go for it.
So Der Stadio, our studio, and if you're wondering what the deal with that name is, go over to the Twitter account and there's some videos about it that kind of explain it. Arthel explains it, the CEO Arthel. We're a really small studio, and I kind of feel like no one knows of us. I have like 4,000 Twitter followers or something. Our studio has like maybe 2. Twitter followers and things like that aren't really things I care about in the world too much. But on the other hand, it does kind of it's a good what is it? You kind of see how many people are aware of your existence by it, right? And I feel like no one knows of us yet. There's like a few thousand people maybe out there, but especially for a small studio, I really just I need people to follow us and know of our existence, share the kind of stuff we make. So I try to give you some cool stuff like the One Piece roughs and things like that. Please just share those and please just follow us, just for the sake of in the future when we announce things, the Sound and Fury thing, for example, if we had 100,000 followers, then all of a sudden 100,000 people know of this project, right? It's really people knowing of the projects that concerns me. So please do give me a follow at Henry Thurlow. Just you could search my name, Henry Thurlow, and the Facebook and Twitter and Instagram stuff will all come up. Dart Stadio, DART, and then SHTAJIO, Stadio. But if you just type in D''ART and then Anime Studio, that's going to come right up. So yeah, just please, know of our existence and share our existence to the world. Because I think the more people that knew of us, the big service we're offering, by the way, is like for smaller Western studios and clients that can't contact these big anime studios but still want anime produced, we can provide that service for them, you know? So we've done commercials for Adidas and Snipes clothing brand in Europe. And, you know, we want to do more of that. But, yeah, we need some followers. Please support us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Henry, for coming on the show.
All right.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to our next segment.
This is the anime recap for episode 913. Everyone is annihilated. Kaido's furious blast breath. I'm your host Sam, and today with me we have a few interesting guests. We have Rick and Morty's Bryan Newton.
Hola.
And joining us today we also have One Piece's very own Henry Thurlow.
Hello.
So this is a new experience for me where I am going to be recapping an episode along with somebody who actually worked on the episode. So that's uncharted territory, so we'll see what happens here. The title card this week begins at 3 minutes and 16 seconds. So the episode opens and we've got, you know, the thunder and lightning from last week is continuing. It's a sort of a series of reaction shots of everyone responding to Kaido and Kinemon explaining, like, yes, Kaido's power is that he can turn into a dragon. We kill quite a bit of time getting everyone's response to Kaido being here and being in dragon form. We have Hold'em down on the ground, still in Okobore town, and he's like, he's relieved that Kaido does not seem to be coming for him. He was worried that Kaido was going to execute him for doing a bad job, but Kaido clearly has other interests, and so that's when Law confesses that he confesses to Kinemon that their cover got blown by all the actions with Hold'em and Urashima in Okobore town. And there's this moment where Sanji is kind of scowling at him, and he and Law are giving each other kind of mean eyes, but Chopper's like, yeah, but let's be real, it was probably Luffy. And then they kind of go through explaining what Kaido needs and why Kaido might be mad at Luffy and Law, because the two things that Kaido needs for his big world-destroying war are the weapons that are being manufactured in Wano with the big factories and what have you, and also the smile fruits, which, if I'm sure we all remember, Luffy and Law destroyed those factories on Punk Hazard and Dressrosa. And Luffy, being Luffy, he's already off. He's running. He's gonna fight the dragon, and Law has to. Law seems to like shamble himself, or it's Chambers is the proper name of the power.
Mm-hmm.
He's like chambering himself. He just, I guess his way of keeping up with Luffy is to just chuck little pebbles and like it's like teleport himself.
Yeah,
forward.
teleport himself like 100 yards into the future again and again and again.
Yeah, trying to keep my eye on the visuals of the episode, considering that we've got Henry here. Like, I noticed that there's a lot of wide shots and like foreground, background, like kind of parallaxing to try to capture Kaido's size. Even in shots where there's not a ton of movement, at least you can kind of get the sense of scope and size. So now Kaido this is your scene, Henry, where Kaido's coming after Shutenmaru, right?
Yes.
Is there anything you want to kind of share about that didn't get brought up in the interview, or are we just here to admire your work?
No, so I got the storyboards really early on in the process, when actually only the first half of the episode was storyboarded, because I wanted to start pretty early. And so I kind of had free range to choose almost whichever sequence I wanted from the first half, which I thought was really cool. And when I was looking through the boards, I just thought, like, I definitely want to draw the dragon. Like that'd be just an unbelievable chance, you know? This is like the biggest villain in One Piece up to this point, and this is the kind of reveal of his power. All of the other shots up to this point pretty much had him just standing still. So I'm like, I want to move the dragon, at least in a couple sequences. So I picked this, and I just thought it was cool. Usually drawing like tons of background characters is a real pain, and I guess it was a pain here too, because like it's not just Shutenmaru. If it was just him and the dragon, that would be one thing. But there's also these like 5 or 6 like other background characters all running with him.
Like the different thieves and
yeah,
you would draw those guys too.
Yeah, everything. So in the other segment, I explained like the Gengama needs to really lay out everything. So I essentially had a very rough storyboard. Well, and fortunately, also I had the manga to use as reference, because a lot of these sequences were taken from like a single panel of the manga. So even if the storyboard was rough, there's like a page that lines up almost exactly with the Shutenmaru running away, at least in one of my shots. So I had really good, obviously, manga reference for that. But then I had to, draw the at least rough in the backgrounds, the buildings, the sky, all the characters running, et cetera, and all the camera work and stuff. One interesting thing to note was, Denjiro has been introduced in the manga recently, right? Like the guy with the
yes, in the flashback, yes.
Yeah, but when I started this, he wasn't introduced even in the manga. So in the quick flashback that it's just one sequence, it's a still frame, but you can see Shutenmaru and Denjiro like both facing off against Kaido in the past, and I was like, I know I just need to draw a silhouette, and there's reference in the manga, so I can just kind of copy that essentially. But is there a model sheet for this guy? Like, what does this guy actually look like? And everyone, even on the One Piece staff, was like, I don't know what he looks like.
You just kind of got to interpret the silhouette as much as you can.
And only very recently, like 2 weeks ago, did we get to see him more as an adult. So so good job on you getting the little foreshadowing.
Well, I just referenced the manga and essentially drew just a slightly more detailed silhouette from the back than
a man with a ponytail.
Just to remind people, in case you didn't also mention the interview, the episodes, the episode making, or I should say, where you guys are at in the animation process compared to where the manga is. It's usually 4 months behind.
So just to be clear, I'm not and I mentioned this in the main interview section, but just to be clear, like I'm not a staff member of Toei, so even I don't know all of Toei's personal schedules and everything like that. And even if I did, I obviously couldn't say. But no, I work for De Art Stadio, who is employed to do key animation for segments of a few episodes. And most anime is not done in advance as you'd like to think. Like in the West, like I remember finishing all of our shows before they even started airing. But
no, I get that.
Yeah, it really is just a matter of you're a few weeks out, essentially. So like there can't be mess ups in the schedule and a million retakes, and hence the quality of a lot of anime recently. I love all of the animators who work here, and I love all the studios, and everyone's trying their best. So obviously when there's like super harsh critiques online, so and so studio sucks or whatever, I don't like hearing that. Everyone's trying really hard. But at the same time, as an anime fan, like I get it, like the Record of Lodoss Warrior, which I mentioned in the interview, like obviously that quality is better than a lot of recent anime. At the same time, they slowly made one OVA episode over the course of months and months and months back then, whereas now it's like, we got to finish this episode from start to finish in 3 weeks, so you can't expect the exact same result.
Just to back you up on that, I'll put it this way: the episodes of Rick and Morty, which I directed on, are still being produced today, and part of the reason why the season's being split up into 2 is because animation production is difficult, things change in production, there are delays. So oftentimes you'll be seeing you'll be working on the scene. Like there was one Cartoon Network show I was literally doing the animation for, and I finished my sequences on the Wednesday, and that episode aired that Friday. Yeah. So I get it.
Okay. I'll tell one quick story about just anime production. I worked on the first couple series of. I worked on all the seasons of Tokyo Ghoul actually, but I was actually working at Pierrot when I was working on Tokyo Ghoul, and the last episode of Tokyo Ghoul has a really really long shot where have you guys both seen Tokyo Ghoul or no?
I've seen clips of it, but I know Studio PR.
Yeah, I've seen one episode.
So this won't get across to you guys exactly, but maybe some people watching the podcast will understand. There's a really long, like probably 2 minute or something like that, like sequence of like the character walking really slowly.
Okay, I'm already losing it.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of repeats, but then also it doesn't repeat in a lot of sections. Like he'll move to the left a little bit, move to the right a little bit, something will fall off.
Yeah,
and so
a single 2-minute shot's madness.
It's super crazy. Like it's, I guess it was there for a specific effect at the very end of the show, essentially. But it got some, I guess, hate online. Like, what is this animation? But it's funny because no one knows the behind the scenes of that. So if you think that, the studio had as much time as they wanted and could, just work on that over months and months and months, then yeah, maybe some of the cycle doesn't work that great, or, certain head turns are a little choppy and stuff like that. But the reality is that entire sequence came in the in-betweens for that, right? So the whole thing was supposed to be done in advance, but like at the last minute, literally, the day before that episode was to air on.
Oh my God.
It came back and everything was wrong. And they ran into the in-betweeners room and was like, everyone drop what you're doing. I don't care whatever else you're working on. Everyone needs to redo this like 700 frame sequence right now.
Yeah, that's all hands on deck.
And so we did, but like that person would do 30 frames. I did another 25 frames. That person did 27 frames. And there was literally no time to even see if stuff linked. So it's just like, they're 27, you're 35, here, do these extra 3 to connect so-and-so's work and so-and-so's work. And it's like, we have no time to do an animation test. We have no time for anything. It's just draw what's right in front of you, put it all in a stack, and run it down to scan and paint, right? Because it was all done on paper at that point too.
Right.
So in that sense, when I see that sequence, when fans see the sequence, there's a lot of, Sakuga fans that'll be like, that sucks. To me, that's like one of the greatest animated sequences of all time. Like that's a 700
just for the story alone,
done in like 8 hours. That is so crazy.
I often tell people when they ask me like what was my favorite production to work on, I say usually it's the harder shows, which we like preschool shows, when it's like we're doing ridiculous schedules with a ridiculous turnaround, and you make like the tightest connections that way because it's hard in the trenches.
Yeah,
that's interesting. That's a great story. So Henry, did you have any hand in like the drunk Kaido faces here?
No. So I didn't do a whole ton of sequences this episode. I did more for the sumo episode, but
that one I love, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Because it was just a handful of sequences, I also kind of went insane with the shadows in my cuts here. But my cuts are, let me see. It starts with one where Shuten Maru is just running away. And then it ends with another one where he's running away, but it's right before he makes the drunken face. So like the part where he swooshes down, he does like the barrel roll in the air, comes up behind Shuten Maru and is like, "Oh, I recognize you!" Like, and then he has the quick flashback. That set of like 10 or so sequences is mine.
Cool. So yes, the story continues, and Kaido's he's scooting up to Shuten Maru. He's like, "Hey, babe, want to come join over with me?" And this is when we learn that Kaido is even as a menacing dragon who's about to burn everything down, he's still an emotionally he's on the emotional roller coaster of depression, and he's a happy drunk, or just kind of a goofy drunk. and he's hiccuping. Jack is kind of in disbelief, like, "Boss, are you drunk right now?" And Kaido, of course, denies it, like, "No, I'm not drunk." And then he hiccups. And I can't remember if this was in the manga or not, but there's a scene where Kaido, he burps and like his breath is
that was not in the manga.
I feel like if he were to like light his own burp on fire, it would explode or something.
Maybe that's how the dragon breath works.
That's how it, yeah. So Luffy and Law, they're running down the hill. Kinemon and Kiku they're trying to hold the fort, and Kiku is like, "Oh, sorry, we got to go to Okabura town," and Kinemon's like, "No, we have to stay here." And then Kiku reveals that no, Otsuru is living there. That's where she's been all this time, and Kinemon is shocked. He's like, "What? My wife?" They start running. Like, of course, he's got to go help her. He's talking about how he's surprised that even after all these years, she never remarried. So Law finally catches up with Luffy. I guess he just threw enough pebbles because he would have had to have done that multiple times, like just like scoop up a rock and chuck it forward.
Yeah.
Also, he could shortcut it too because he doesn't have to go on a straight path. He can throw it through the trees.
Right. And that brings us to the eye catch of the episode. I have a feeling you're not going to have an answer for this, but Henry, do you know when we might be able to expect like some new eye catches? Because it's been like Luffy, Zoro.
No idea.
No idea. All right.
I'm looking forward to them myself, though, too.
Well, I imagine
I love Zoro, but I'd like to see some.
Yeah, we want to get the whole crew in here soon.
Yeah, I imagine we get to the second act, then the other crews start participating more in the Wano adventures.
Yeah, I was hoping we would start to see more. Like once Nami and Sanji and their group returned into the story, I was hoping that would be around the time that we started seeing that stuff. But
they haven't really done anything in Wano yet. That's the point. Because like those of us who've read it, we know what Nami and Sanji are going to be participating in in a bit.
I could understand holding off on Sanji's if
it's a Soba mask.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, they're not shy about it in the opening, so
that's true. They revealed everyone's costume now, though, right? So I think
that would have been a nice turning point to.
Yeah.
So we come back from the commercial break, and Hawkins and his like elk, they're like, I like this effect where he's like kind of hopping off of the roofs and jumping from one roof to the next, trying to get to Kaido. And he points Kaido to Odin Castle. He's like, "Oh, hey, I hear they might be hiding out over there." And Kaido's like, "Oh, okay, I'll go over there." And apparently that was by pure coincidence. That was just a lie that Hawkins made up.
I fucking love this.
But he does explain that people from the towns and stuff like that were talking about suspicious lights that they had been seeing up there, probably of Kinemon and people who have been kind of moving in and out of that place recently. In the like month or two since Luffy and the crew were in Whole Cake Island, we've been camping out there. But Hawkins attributes that the sights to like, oh well, people are just thinking about the legend that Toki kind of set up 20 years ago. So it's probably nothing, but might as well burn it to the ground just to calm the Shogun's nerves, I guess.
Yeah, kill two birds with one stone. It's actually fairly devious, and the fact that he ended up inadvertently happened to be 100% right, makes me almost think like, did he check his cards?
Yeah, even without the crew being up there, Hawkins he's being smart. So we're back up at the castle, and Brooks' ghost scares Nami on accident. Like, I guess just in the excitement, his ghost came out. Happens to the best of us. And so Kaido's now on his way to the castle. Everyone's kind of bracing themselves. It's a pretty long sequence of Kaido just kind of moving over to the castle. Everyone's like looking up, like, "Oh no, he's coming!" And then Kaido slowly getting there, and then it's the big scene. Kaido opens his mouth, blows the place up. There's some pretty crazy animation. Oh, there's one shot of animation that I really loved where it's we're kind of like looking out from the cliff, and you see Kaido like coming up from above or up from below and like shooting upward. And,
there's some cool animation sequences here at the end. I like the one where like he's Kaido is flying at the sequence and like but his body is like a ring, or like you see as like a ring.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's just some pretty cool shots of the dragon, some interesting compositions there.
Yeah, there's a lot to play around with in terms of both communicating his size, but also, his body is so big and long, like different part of his body could be in the foreground and another part in the background. And
yeah.
So yeah, he does his burn blast breath. He just completely blows the place up. The beam hits the castle. We see the crew who are still up there. They kind of, everything lights up. Their art kind of turns sketchy, and then they kind of dissipate. That's it. The series is over. The crew is dead. No,
Luffy can still get vengeance.
Yeah, Luffy. It's a revenge story now. Luffy has to avenge his dead comrades, and he is looking up at this. He's shocked. He's getting very expressive in his anger, and he kind of like puffs his chest outward and shouts, "Kaido!" And then to be continued. General thoughts on the episode, you guys. Normally, I would be asking this among just regular fans, but we do have Henry here who can give his opinion on how he feels about the episode, both participating in it and watching it as a member of the audience.
Let's see. Well, here's two interesting notes I thought. So when I read the manga, I just read the English translation. So there's some manga I read in Japanese, like the Baki series I read in Japanese, but One Piece, it's always just in English. So I only heard, or read the English translation for the attacks. So like, what did you say his blast attack was?
I just said like blast burn. I think I'm thinking of like some Pokemon move or something. I don't know what they called it in the subtitles.
He does say something like that. He's like he says some kind of blast or something is the English translation to it.
Breath blast is pretty consistent.
Yeah. But so apparently the Japanese is just horoboros, like a horoboros or something.
Oh, so it's kind of like a. Do you think that's a pun, like an intentional?
I don't know, but it's just a cool name for an attack. Horoboros is the name of his big flame attack,
especially for like a serpent type enemy.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
like
an Ouroboros. Yeah.
It just seems like that just could have been left like that. I wonder why they changed the translation, because that name is kind of cool for an attack.
We can ask Steven.
Yeah. And then also just on the production side of it, the animation director for this one was Eisaku Inoue, who obviously, I talked about production schedules and stuff like that. So it can't be done as great as I guess it could in the past. Even One Piece, maybe in the past, One Piece's schedule was a little better. This is like one of my favorite One Piece animators, though. You remember movie 7, the one with the mechanical castle?
Mechanical Island, yeah. They had the pretty good style.
He's the guy that did that style, right? So he's the movie 7 guy. And,
so he's the guy who's used to doing like voluptuous women and like shiny women.
And but also like the faces are very unique, and like you always see the bridges of the nose and stuff.
Is that I'm thinking of like the Going Merry funeral scene.
Yes, that was one of his episodes, and another one of his episodes was the Zoro and Kuma fight, like one of the best episodes in the
classic.
Because like when Zoro is standing there at the end, like covered in blood, like that Zoro face is very much him. So like I was super psyched to get to work on. I didn't meet him. He was the animation director. He's not the episode director who I met with, but I was just super psyched to get to work on one of his episodes. As I'm watching, I'm like, this episode isn't quite the Zoro versus Kuma fight crazy epicness, but nevertheless, he had a hand in making it, which is I think an interesting kind of side note. I think his style does come through a little bit, not as much as it used to. It could just be like, with age, he's like, I'm not going to correct every single drawing like I used to. or it might have been schedule or whatever. I don't know.
There were some shots of the crew, specifically like Nami and
Yes,
Law and Luffy, which came through in his style.
Yeah, at the towards the end of the episode, right? Like when they're
Right.
jumping away from the flames and stuff.
Yes,
yeah,
that I could register.
Yeah, there's definitely some sequences that his style comes through on, so that's pretty cool, I thought.
Mm-hmm. I've been looking forward to this episode since the manga version, simply because Kaido being a dragon and also our association with dragons and Dragon Ball Z, we know that Toei can handle this, and like they used a lot of their similar tricks. Where I really liked how the size of Kaido is conveyed in multiple shots across Okobori Town and Bakura Town, where like every time you cut to these different locations, there's always Kaido just hanging in the sky. And another thing I super liked, I don't know if other people find this annoying, the dragon noise, I'm using quotation marks there, that like constant like humming or pulsing noise. I don't know if other series have used this, but I think it's kind of a traditional like Japanese giant monster sound, if I'm not mistaken in that. Am I the only one who caught that?
I didn't pick up on that, but I can imagine it.
Yeah.
I'll play it in my head.
I'm not 100% sure what you're referring to, but obviously Toei's sound design and everything is top notch. It's hard for me to imagine watching this as like an anime only person, like having not known the story at all. I imagine if this was the first time I'm seeing this story, though, I'd have been really psyched,
Oh yeah,
not knowing where the dragon's going, what he's going to do. I think I'd be on my toes the whole time.
Yeah, even the previous episode, I wasn't on the anime recap for that. The setup for Kaido is really good, and when Kaido's descending was amazing. I really appreciate that sequence. But this, having him like constantly swarming around the town, occasionally running into buildings, and then of course drunk Kaido's always hilarious. But then the breath blast came out as like extremely powerful and overwhelming, something we haven't quite seen in Dragon Ball like this, because a million animes, especially shonen type series, we've seen like energy blasts 1,000 times, but the fact that this happened in One Piece at this point in the series, you're like, holy crap, they don't have any good defenses for this.
Yeah, it's true. Like, well, the one thing I love about One Piece, you'll have to have me on again at some point just to nerd out specifically about One Piece, because I haven't gone into just like what I love about this and everything. But like one thing I do love that I'll mention here that's shown through in this episode is like after 900 episodes, you would think I would be bored and be like, okay, I know that the good guy is gonna win, here's another villain for him, and I'm sure the villain will be defeated in a few weeks, right? But it's not like that at all. With every new story point, once again, I'm like, it's impossible for the main character. Can't do it.
How are they going to do it?
Yeah, and so you're constantly leading me to believe that it's a helpless situation. And after 900 episodes that I could still believe, oh no, they're doomed. I mean, because at the end, they're not going to be doomed, right? But you have convinced me that they're doomed at this point. That's cool.
One of the geniuses is that Oda's, the way his story structure is told, he always puts limitations on everything. So the fact that the heroes themselves are limited makes it each new like brick he puts on top of them. Like how are they gonna punch through this brick? I know he's gonna punch through this brick, but how's he gonna do it? Because he's limited.
It's one of the things it's one of the many things I still really appreciate about Whole Cake Island, where we've had the Straw Hats go up against an emperor and like they got away, but they didn't beat her. Like they haven't established that beating an emperor is something that they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
That's cool. My thoughts on the episode, I think I like Dragon Kaido a lot. I agree with Bryan that I like how just when you have regular shots and there's just always just this giant dragon just far off in the distance, like even when we're not focusing directly on him in each given shot, like it sets a tone, it sets an atmosphere. This episode does suffer from the usual problems with, in regards to like pacing and whatnot. And obviously the show's not in a position where it can do a whole lot about that. But like I was hoping we were going to get a little further. I was hoping there was, a certain interaction between Luffy and Kaido I was hoping we were going to get to this week.
Yeah,
And so,
me too. That was a bummer.
Yeah, without that, it's like watching a bunch of, they do their best not to draw attention to the fact that it's all a bunch of like still shots with kind of like panning and tweening Kaido around a little bit and the parallax shots, but like that's kind of what a lot of it is anyway. So that it doesn't leave me feeling like there's a whole lot of meat to the episode. It's just sort of like, okay, like if you have to be like really convinced by the cliffhanger that like something really, really bad just happened in order to really get kind of swept away in the story. But I do think the episode is limited by the pace quite a bit. But for the most part, yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad that we're into the Kaido Dragon kind of segment of the story right now, because it's such a different tone from what we've been dealing with in Wano up until this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kaido ramps it up significantly.
Yeah, it's like because they just established, right? They just established that the plan is we're going to attack Kaido in 2 weeks, and then Kaido's right here now. We have to deal with him now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great. So, you guys, anything else you guys want to say before we move on to the next segment?
Good job, Henry.
Thanks.
It's been good to have you on, Henry.
Okay. Yeah. Nope. Glad to be here.
All right. Is that everything? Got anything else you want to just throw in real quick at the end here?
Nope. I'm good.
All right. Sounds great. Let's move on.
Hey everyone, we have a very special segment here for you, and we're calling it. Ed, do you want to do some voice now that I'm just putting you on the spot?
It's the David Backfire. There he is.
Hey! All right, so last time, folks seemed to like the trivia questions. So I ignored my friends and family for an entire week, and I've come back with 3 whole new games, all for you guys.
Yay!
All right.
Oh boy.
All right. So
I get
I'm
to
gonna
do
let
it
you guys,
this week.
Yeah, I'm going to let you choose the form of the destroyer. So I have 3 games. One is the return of Portmanteau D'Ace, the game where the answer is a One Piece character plus the answer to a general knowledge trivia question. The other is I'm a Person Man. I'll explain that if you choose it. And the third is Flamenco, Fettuccine, or Filler.
Yo.
Since I won the last game, I want to choose that last one.
Wait,
All right.
since you won the last game, you get to go first, and also half of us weren't there last time.
Yeah, I didn't
Fine,
get to
go
do
ahead.
this.
Fine,
All
go
right,
ahead,
we're doing
Ed.
Flamenco, Fettuccine, or Filler.
All right.
All right. So, in the game of Flamenco, Fettuccine, or Filler, I will say a word, and you have to decide whether or not it is a term from the Spanish art of flamenco, a type of pasta, or an anime-only One Piece character.
God.
Anime only. Oh boy.
All right. So, what order should we go? How about Zach, Steven Yurko?
Go in seniority order, right? That's the best way to do it. So yeah, me, Ed. Wait, who do we have here right now? So it'd be me, Ed, Steve, Alex, Steven. And not seniority in age, but seniority in how long we've been on the show.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Zach,
Yeah.
your turn.
Oh,
All right, so-
shit. Why did I do that to myself?
So, Zach, Ed, Steve, Alex, Steven?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So, Zach, going to start you off easy here. Alpaca. Oh, well, here, actually, this will be the example. So, if I say
I want to do the
Alpacino,
example. Filler, right? That one's filler.
right, that's Shuzo's Delightful Bazooka. So, all right, Zach, your real question is Angel.
So what are the 3 choices? They're pasta.
Is it a type of pasta, a anime-only One Piece character, or a term d'art of the Spanish form of dance and song flamenco.
And I can't
Angel.
pick. I can't pick something from Evangelion. I'm gonna go with. I mean, there's angel hair pasta. I'm gonna go with flamenco.
You're right. It is an alternate term for the duende, or demonic possession of emotion that seizes a passionate flamenco performance.
Oh my god.
All right. That's
Complete.
one
That was
point, Zach.
complete process of elimination because I don't remember. Even though I don't watch filler, I don't recall angel. All right, go ahead.
Sure. All right. Ed
Okay.
Gaspard.
Oh, that's a filler character.
Yep, that is the former Marine and villain of movie 4.
That's
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
We're going to 3 points or until these questions run out because I didn't do quite as many of them as last time. All right.
Sure.
So, Steve
Yes.
Maffaldine.
It's not a filler character. I'm gonna say pasta.
Ooh, you guys are doing really good. Yes, Maffaldine is a long, wavy, ribbon-shaped pasta.
I thought you said Applebee's at first.
That's
You know,
even
my
good in the
favorite One
neighborhood.
Piece character, Applebee's.
That's a filler character, yeah.
Applebee.
Filler me up character.
Oh yeah. We don't
Okay.
talk about that anymore.
Alex
Yeah.
Biera.
Biera. That is flamenco?
No, that is a One Piece character. He is the old man that runs the boiler on Gaspard's ship in movie 4.
Oh shit. He has a name. I like that movie. I didn't know that. I guess. Wow. Well, derp.
They only
This is gonna be hard because like I've only ever seen the early One Piece movies once.
No, you guys are doing pretty good. All right, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
Rotel.
Rotel, that's a pasta.
You're right. That's the little round pasta that looks like wheels.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I loved that as a kid.
Looping around, Zach.
Uh-oh.
Rotanto.
God, that could be any of those. Rotanto, I'm gonna say flamenco again.
No, it's One Piece. It's the mole boy from Long Ring Long Land.
Wow.
Oh, of course. No, I don't. I don't even know who that is, and you just described it to me.
It's Tonjit's like filler grandson.
Oh yeah.
It is different than from the. It was different from the manga because that whole thing like is messed up because Aokiji is like on a different island or something.
Yeah. So Tonjit's grandson just like kind of like the was it the ground boss from Gadatsu's like filler. He basically just like rides that out of the ground. He's like, "Oh, Grandpa, here you are."
But I will agree, Rotanto. I think Rotanto sounds delicious, personally. Like a Rotanto with like a little reduction sauce. Oh, bene.
I love reduction sauce. Anyway, continue.
Ed.
Yes.
Fabio. Fabio.
Romance. What's that guy? Fabio.
Flamenco.
You're right. That is a term for repeated nonsense vowels used to stretch out words in songs.
Wow.
Yeah, too good. All right. Steve?
Okay.
Barbine.
Can you spell it for me?
Barbine. So it could be Barbine.
Can you use it in a sentence? No.
Wow.
I'm going to take a shot and say it's a filler character.
It is a pasta. It is a variety of capellini.
Ah.
All right, Alex.
Do this.
Spaghetti-tony. Not spaghetti. Spaghetti-tony.
Oh my god.
What?
This
What?
is
What 90s Conan character is this?
Is that Spaghetti's real name?
my spaghetti.
Steve, that's the perfect. That you should have added 90s Conan characters in as one of these categories.
Okay, do you know what? Okay, so At first, I'm like, you know what? This could be a filler character. But you know what? I'm just gonna say it's pasta.
Yeah, it's a thicker variant of spaghetti.
Yeah, I fucking thought so. It's like one of Capone's like goons, Spaghetti Tony. He's like his third in command, but we don't actually ever see him. Hey, we gotta get Spaghetti Tony over here. Okay, boss.
Why does he sound like old Barney Rubble?
I don't know, and he's got like a frying pan.
Sure, Captain. Or Fodder. What's they call?
Godfather. He's got a frying pan on his head, like the Galaxy Goof Ups, the name of the duck in the Galaxy Goof Ups. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Anyway, David, you could move on.
We need an
Steven.
episode time.
Yes.
Bavette.
Bavette?
Bavette. Bavette.
I am going to guess that is a flamenco term.
It is a pasta. It is a narrower variant of tagliatelle.
I just had that this week.
Next time, 90s Conan characters.
All right.
Am I
At
next?
the end.
Yes.
Yes. I've only got 2 questions left. So I'm
I
gonna
have to get both of them somehow.
you gotta get both of them somehow. All right. Zach.
Yeah.
Piki.
How do you spell that?
Pici. Piki.
So not Pika and not Kiki. Pasta?
Yes, that is a thick, hand-rolled kind of pasta.
Wow. If
Complete
you were
guess.
if I was a pasta delivery, if I had a pasta delivery company, it would be called Peaky's Delivery Service.
Oh my god! I'm writing that down.
Yeah, if you're a pasta gangster, you could be Peaky Blinders.
Oh, this is so good.
With his red sauce right hand. All right, Ed. Last question.
We're gonna have like 10 people listen to this episode. Sorry, go ahead. They'll
All right,
love it.
Ed. Last question. Luigia.
It's a filler character, I bet.
It is the little old woman who lives in a mansion from Little East Blue.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
That
Oh,
wins.
that was the worst. Oh, and we voiced that. not
Yeah,
that
we
little
were,
woman.
We did Walla for that, I think. Yeah.
Luigi
Well,
is
the
also what
extra-
happens when Luigi gets a hold of the mushroom that the toadette mushroom.
Also,
The crown mushroom, right? Is that what
also the legendary Pokemon on the cover of Pokemon Silver.
All right, let's do the game we did last week.
All right.
Why
All right,
does
so-
Ed get to choose?
Because he
I'm just
keeps
keeping things
winning.
moving. I just keeping things moving here.
He's the most dangerous player on in the field. He's the one you have to beat.
Oh, so wait, who
All right.
won? Who won that? Who had who?
Well,
it might have been multiple people, but
Ed got all of his
I
questions.
think Ed got it.
Yeah.
you.
All right.
Zach had 2. Everyone else had 1.
All right. I'm going to go in reverse order this time. So I'll start with Steven and then end with Zach.
All right. And which game is this now?
All right. So this game is called Portmanteau d'Ace.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a pop culture or just like a general knowledge trivia question. The answer will be a portmanteau of a One Piece character and the answer to the question. The question will hint at both at both things. The answer is always the full name of the One Piece character and then the answer. And the character always goes first.
Okay.
So, for example, from last week, if I say, oh, would you say this Navy Admiral is also a type of durable and, yes, lightweight artificial flooring? You'd, of course, say Borsa linoleum.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time. All right. So, Steven, this pirate empress has given birth to many Tony-winning hits, like In the Heights, or that other one, you know, with the songs and the dancing, the popular one.
Oh man, I do not know my musicals very well. Oh man, I don't. I honestly don't know. I'm just gonna say like Boa Hamilton or something.
All right, Steel is up for the board. Anyone got this one?
Can you
What
repeat
was it again? Yeah,
All
sorry.
right. This pirate empress has given birth to many Tony-winning hits, like "In the Heights" or that other one. You know, the songs and the dancing, the popular one.
I don't know.
I'm also not a musical person. I know Roger, if he's listening, is yelling.
So In the Heights is not the same as The Heights, which is, I think, what Steven was thinking.
Alexander Hancock Milton.
Oh my god.
No.
Well, he said that One Piece character's name always comes first.
Yeah.
No, I was just making a joke. I know that's not the answer.
So what pirate empress has given birth?
What's her name again?
Big Mamma Mia.
No.
Big Mamelton.
I love these. These are so much better than the real.
Wait, it's not Big Mamma Mia?
She's not part of.
All right.
Half point.
Here I go again.
The answer is
No, wait. Big Mom. Wait, hold on.
No, she's not. It's not Big Mom. It's
Big
what's the little,
Mom Manuel Miranda.
No, it's that old woman. What's her name? A Neon, right? It's a Neon. Isn't that her name?
no. I'm going to cut you off.
What's the answer, David?
Yeah, what's the answer?
Charlotte Lynn Manuel Miranda.
Oh, I thought you said it was the Pirate Empress. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is an emperor.
He fooled you. He fooled us.
Oh, I thought. Isn't that the nickname for? What's the nickname for Boa Hancock?
Yeah. Settle down, Zach.
Isn't it the Pirate Empress? Yeah.
It's the double entendre, Zach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Zach.
Okay.
All right. So we're warming up. It's a this is a game of thinkers. All right, Alex.
Yeah, let's do this, David.
This King of the Pirates is a pink 5-petaled perennial favorite.
Oh, let's see. A pink
is a pink 5-petaled perennial favorite.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. Let's gotta think of some flowers here. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Let's see. Is it Gold Rogermanium?
That's right. Gold D Rogeranium.
Nice.
It's not a germanium.
All right, Steve.
Okay.
All right. You know, I'm going to give you a special one just for you.
I am special.
All right. This Adult Swim show was a giant tongue-in-cheek homage to the Sid and Marty Krofft shows until it died with a smile.
Oh. One more time.
This Adult Swim show was a giant tongue-in-cheek homage to Sid and Marty Krofft shows until it died with a smile.
Oh.
I know this one.
Okay.
I don't know this one.
All right. Who wants to steal?
Jaguar D. Saul of the Mole Men.
Yeah.
Bang. Got it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was focusing too much on Smile, and I was thinking like Doflamingo or Caesar Clown, and I was like,
Yeah, but he said giant.
I was thinking of that too.
I'm sorry, I can't pick up on every word.
he like overemphasized the word giant.
All right.
It's hard.
Ed.
Okay.
This incredibly tall swordswoman is also a long-running manga series about rock and roll references and elaborate posing.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that?
No. Kiku no JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Well
great.
Damn.
That was very good.
All right, Zach.
Yeah.
He's Luffy's #1 biggest fan, and also a big fan of Homer's wife, Midge.
Bartolomeo? Or Bartolomeo?
You know what? I'll give it to you. I was looking for Bartolomeo Sislak, but
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like mine.
Mamo.
Emo.
Mami mama, mami mama.
Okay.
All right.
Nope. That was good.
I should really be keeping track of scores.
Alex has 2, and Zach and I both have 1.
I have a
Access
half
to-
point for
Zach.
Big Mama Mia.
That's right.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
Steven.
Okay.
I am the whale that the mountain refused. I have a blowhole, the scarred cetacean that made Brooke sing the blues.
Oh, I know this one.
I am the mountain, repeat that again.
I am the whale that the mountain refused. I have a blowhole, the scarred cetacean that made Brooke sing the blues.
Oh my god.
That's a really good one.
That's funny.
I'm like super impressed. It's hard if you don't.
No, I feel like that's a song lyric, but I don't recognize it.
Well, Boondocks.
Damn it, Zach! Come on!
Wow.
What?
Zach.
I thought it
Open
was
the door.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I wouldn't have guessed that, but yeah, he kind of
I was like,
jumped
wait.
ahead of everyone.
Oof. That's some pirate tactics right there. So,
This
You get
is
the
a
point.
pirate show.
yeah, I think you get the point. All right. Alex.
Yeah. Let's do
Oh,
it.
boy.
I'll shut up for
What-
this one because I'm doing
Alex.
the stump OPP anyway. Go ahead.
Okay.
Alex. What if the reindeer was horny?
Who says he's not? Let's see. What if the reindeer was horny? What if the reindeer was horny? That's the entire clue.
Some of these are good. Some of these are not good at all.
Ooh, okay. Forgive my silence for a moment. Let's see here.
Got anything, Alex?
Tony Chop Perineum.
What?
Hold on, no. Is it Tony Chop Persona?
No.
Tony,
Par-
who is Tony
Perineum,
Chop
but-
Pervert?
That's it. Steven got
Oh, well, just so
Nice,
you guys
Steven.
know, the perineum is the medical term for the taint.
Yeah. Yeah.
The grundle, the fleshy, fun bridge. Yes, we know.
it.
Alex, this
What
is
if
the
Alex
main
was
reason.
That's my secret captain. I'm always horny.
All right, Steve.
All right, Steve. Giraffes may be cool, but when this member of Cypher Paul sees chocolatey cereal, he expresses his excitement with this famous catchphrase.
Wait, I missed that. Can you repeat that when he's
No,
done?
hold on. Steve, you have to say it without laughing.
Should I be saying the catchphrase or maybe I'm asking?
The answer is the form of the catchphrase.
I'm Kaku for. I'm Kaku for. Kaku Puffs, Cocoa Puffs. I don't know.
Don't overthink it, man. Don't overthink it.
Bartolomeo.
I'm Kaku for Cocoa Puffs.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
That means plant.
Just as cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yes.
Does that even count? I don't even know. Did I get?
I'm going to give you the point. This isn't the ACT. This isn't school.
Like that. There's so many ways you could arrange that pun. So
What Light said. He's Keikaku for Cocoa Puffs.
Ed.
All right. Okay.
Ed.
Yep.
The term for a 90-degree angle made by a mink samurai.
Ink samurai.
For example, were I to take a mink samurai and place him at a 90-degree angle, you would point at him and say, "Oh, he is."
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know this one.
Anyone with steel?
Oh, wait. Can you say that one more time? I just missed the very beginning of that.
The term for a 90-degree angle made by a mink samurai.
Cat verb perpendicular. Viperpendicular. That is really hard.
That's it. Cat by perpendicular.
Oh, perpendicular. Okay.
I like that.
That was not the word I was thinking of.
There were only 2 mink samurais, so it made that slightly easier.
Yeah. I was just thinking right angle like the entire time. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Wait, so Zach has 3, doesn't he?
Is it? Does he?
No,
I think so.
Let the
I
man
do,
continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
Do I just go through these?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's
All
get
right.
through them. Well, whoever has the highest score. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Zach.
Yeah.
A short story about a man that eats grass that was turned into a movie about virtual reality that's become a pirate who's also a surgeon.
Oh my God, there's a lot of happening there.
I want the
this one.
full name. The
Are you-
full name.
First of all, I got maybe 10% of what you just said. Can you say that one more time?
All right. A short story about a man that eats grass that was turned into a movie about virtual reality that became a pirate who's also a surgeon.
Oh my God.
I got this one too.
Are there 3 things here?
No, it's just 2 things.
Oh. A short story about a man who eats grass. Yeah, there's like a Trafalgar Law thing there, right? I don't like the grass thing. I don't get it. I mean, you guys could go for it.
All right.
Trafalgar D. Lawnmower Man.
No, Trafalgar D. Water Lawnmower
Man.
There you go. Alex got it.
Steven was right behind me, though.
Yeah.
Right on my tail.
All right. All right. I guess we're
Water
over
law.
to Steven.
Water
Okay,
law.
yes.
Fuck.
Water law.
It's such can't even start with
Always water your lawnmower, man.
I think Steven should just get a point for that.
Yeah, I get a half point for that one.
We're gonna give him a half point.
Okay.
We're giving out half points
All right.
in this game.
Welcome to the One Piece podcast where everything's made up and the points don't matter. All right, Steven.
Mhm.
Beloved French girl Madeline had this surgery to remove the tiny grumpy old mayor of Fuchsia Village from her abdomen.
I should be paying more attention. 'Cause I'm also doing other.
Okay. So the answer would be a whoop slappendectomy.
That's right.
Oh my God.
I love that. Appendectomy.
Excellent. All right, Alex.
Yeah.
On the seas, he's a terrible pirate that controls darkness itself, but in the classroom, he's a real brown-nosing suck-up.
Marshall D. Teacher's Pet.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Steve,
Okay.
I think this is the name of the sword store owner of Logtown, but it could just be an alias.
For fuck's sake, I don't remember this guy's name. Ed, you might as well answer this. I think you know his name.
Can you repeat that? Like, I'm trying to figure out the second half of it.
I think this is the name of the sword store owner from Logtown, but it could just be an alias.
Oh, is it? Is this free?
I think so.
I can't get it.
Is this an Ippon Matsudonym?
That's it.
Oh, man.
Pseudonym. There you go. Okay.
That's really good. Steven coming back.
Ed.
Okay.
This legendary hero of Wano not only served with Whitebeard and Gold Roger, but was also hired as a bounty hunter by Darth Vader to find Han Solo.
Oh man. What?
Oh.
One more time.
This legendary hero of Wano not only served with Whitebeard and Gold Roger, but was also hired as a bounty hunter by Darth Vader to find Han Solo.
I got it.
Izukus? I don't know.
Is this open?
I don't know anything about Star Wars.
Is this
I can't remember all the bounty hunters' names.
Kozuki Odengar?
That's it.
Oh my
I
god.
knew it's a lizard guy,
That question.
No.
Dengar's
Dengar's
the fat guy with the bandages, yeah.
By the way, that question was made for Alex.
Bandages heal everything, but they don't capture Han Solo.
All right. Let's see now.
Me?
Was that Steve?
That was my
No, wasn't
that,
that-
that was my question.
Okay.
Alex got it right, so
Excellent.
yeah.
Excellent. Zach.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's kosher, but this enormous long-tusked aquatic mammal also coined the name for Mocktown in a report.
Okay, well, it's I don't know if he's kosher, but he named Mocktown in a report. Well, it's obviously it sounds like a walrus, but I don't know. I don't know the name of that guy.
One more time.
Probably. Yeah.
It's a name that when I say this out loud, you're going to be like, I have never forgotten that name. It's always been echoing in the back of my mind since I read it. All
Okay, so I have no idea who this is. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. One more time. I don't know if he's kosher, but this enormous long-tusked aquatic mammal also coined the name for Mocktown in a report.
I mean, it sounds like a pig or shellfish or something.
Here's a hint. We have never seen this character.
How is that a hint? Okay.
I don't know.
I think this is open.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could sit
Let's
here for
see.
like an hour and try and think about it, but I don't know.
Let's
All
see.
right.
Don't know if he's kosher. Hold on, I do want to figure this out. He coined the name of Mocktown.
I want to figure it out. I'm just not going to.
So, who haven't we seen? Did we see the King of Lefneal? I guess he didn't have a name.
I'm assuming this is probably like it probably appeared in an Oda box attributed to some writer, but I don't remember.
Oh, like Jason Arnott. Or no,
Louis Arnott.
Louis Arnott. That's right. Well, who's the other guy then?
But that's why I can't remember the other thing.
Fuck. Yeah, I don't know this one.
The answer is Jew Walrus.
Who's the character?
Jew Wall? There's a character in One Piece named Jew Wall.
Wow.
That? I feel like I should be offended, but I don't know why.
How many more of these you got?
When I got this, one more. I've got one more, and I'll just toss it out.
Who's winning? Who's winning, by the way?
Alex is winning.
Alex is winning?
Calm down, Alex.
I definitely
Well, I think Alex
winning.
just took himself out.
And look, I cannot believe any of you have forgotten the name Jew Wall, because when I got to that page in One Piece where it said it's a town drenched in
Oh,
mercury,
you know
and it's
what?
just attributed as Jew Wall. I was like, what?
I remember that. I remember that now. God, I remember that now.
All right.
Yeah.
This one, I'm just going to toss out to the whole team. This legendary pirate captain had 3 future warlords of the sea as crew members, and infamously, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce with him, too.
Oh, Rocksteady Zabecki.
That's right. Roxy
Oh my
Becky
God.
with the good hair.
Yeah,
Who the fuck is Zebecki?
Becky with the good hair.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
it's a Beyonce song.
Oh, I don't. You know this. God, I don't know anything about Beyonce other than she likes
and
lemonade.
that's all right.
All right.
What's the third game? I forgot already.
All right. Time for the third game. I think Alex won that round.
I did, yes.
All right. This one's pretty simple. It's called I'm a Person Man.
And
So-
my name is Anakin.
All right. So every so in One Piece, we all know that Luffy has a habit of saying, I ate the gum fruit, so now I'm a rubber man. So all of these will have like a little sentence, and then I ate the blank fruit, now I'm a blank man. I'll give you the devil fruit they ate. You have to tell me what kind of a man they are.
Well, blank man, that's obviously Marlon Wayans. No, Damon Wayans. Damn
It was Damon Wayans. Yeah.
Wrong. Alex gets no point.
All right, so I'll start with Zach. Zach, I'm stronger than person man. I ate the angle fruit. Now I'm a
Triangle man.
point.
Is that how this works? Yeah. Okay.
That's how this works. Ed,
Okay.
time to take out the trash. I ate the junk fruit. Now I'm a
Garbage man.
There you go.
Garbage
All
day.
Steve, I'll say, are you married? I ate the frosty fruit. Now I'm a
One more time?
I'll say, are you married? I ate the frosty fruit. Now I'm a
I hate all
I
of you.
knew it.
You're all making noises like, oh, come on, Steve.
No, I don't think I know it.
Frosty.
I mean, all I'm thinking about
I'm
is
sorry,
like
can you repeat it one more time?
I'll say, are you married? I ate the frosty fruit. Now I'm a
Oh. I can't. I'm
all
sorry.
right. Anyone want to steal?
Snowman. It's a snowman.
He's a snowman.
We'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man.
Yeah.
God
You can
damn
do the
it!
job when you're in town.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
Damn.
Come on, man.
Alex.
Fuck
Yeah.
Christmas music.
Thank you, Steve. Finally, someone agrees with me. Go ahead.
No, when you work retail, you have a hard time getting over it.
Oh,
All right,
God.
Alex.
That sounds awful.
All right, David, let's have it.
All right, Alex. Everybody stutters. I ate the scabadoodly fruit. Now I'm a
Scat man.
Fuck, I couldn't get the Scatman one.
That was a good one.
Steve, you had what is arguably the easiest one so far.
Oh fuck you! I would gladly rather listen to Scatman Jones than Frosty the Snowman or whatever.
yeah,
Ditto.
but you just said Frosty
Ditto.
the Snowman, the Frosty
Who
Frosty.
is-
For what
No,
else
no,
would
no.
it be?
Whatever Christmas song it was. I hate you. I would have gladly answered the Scatman one.
I'm on Steve's
Scatman
side.
Jones, anyway.
I'm on Steve's side.
Steven. I ate your head. Whose face do you see? I ate the lizard fruit model crocodile. Now I'm a
This is a very specific one.
It's a fairly specific one, but I think you can sort of suss it.
Man,
I
the
ate
first
your
part-
head. Whose
yeah.
face do you see?
I don't know.
It's Cayman from Doro Hedoro.
Right.
Oh.
Cayman is also a
It's also a kind of
long-nosed-
crocodile.
Yeah.
kind of a crocodile.
Yeah, lives in the rainforest.
Yeah. All right. Zach. Do I have the same face as a lot of other folks? I ate the XX fruit. Now I'm a
Steve, shut up. I assume it was Steve. I don't know. I have the same face as other folks. I mean, I don't know.
up for the steal.
Oh, yeah, up for the seal.
Can you repeat it one more time?
Do I have the same face as a lot of other folks? I ate the XX fruit. Now I'm a
I mean, I was going to say
Dead man?
same, but
X-Man.
Hangman. No.
All right. I'll now I'm a woman.
Oh.
Yeah, you
What?
see XX. Same face as a lot of other
God.
folks.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right.
I did not see that one.
All right. I think it's Ed.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Ed. Bruce Lee has nothing on me. I ate the Wing Chun fruit. Now I'm a
Hmm. Uh, uh, I don't know.
Up for the steal?
Yeah.
One time.
Bruce Lee has nothing on me. I ate the Wing Chun fruit. Now I'm a...
Oh, an It Man.
There you go.
A what? A what, man?
Is it
An
from the
It Man.
song?
No, it's movies. It's a movie series.
Oh, It Man?
Yeah, It
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Mm.
I saw the one with Batista last year.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I've only seen the first one, actually.
All
Gotta get on
right, Steve.
Uh,
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. What's a...
it's a baby one for me.
All right, here. Let's try this one. Ave, citizen. I ate the Latin fruit. Now I'm a...
Oh my! One more time.
Ave, citizen. I ate the Latin fruit. Now I'm a...
Oh, it's because of Steve's reaction. That's how
Yeah.
Also, a man in a gorilla suit with a fishbowl on his head, if this helps. Probably doesn't.
Oh, shit.
All right, I'm going to kick this to... I think I'm going to give you a count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anyone with the steal?
Are you a Roman?
I am a Roman. That's right.
Cool.
I got it.
Alex.
Can someone explain it to the uncultured here?
Romans speak Latin.
What was that?
Romans speak Latin.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. The other thing, there's a really terrible movie called Robot Monster that I think got treatment by Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
And the villain was a really goofy cyborg made out of a diving bell and a gorilla suit who called himself Roman.
Yeah, I haven't seen that
Wow.
movie, but I know the monster.
Yeah.
I just couldn't fucking what the fuck is the name of the monster? But I wouldn't have gotten that.
All right. Alex,
Yes.
need a softener or filter? I ate the water fruit. Now I'm
A softener or repeat the clue?
need a softener or a filter? I ate the water fruit. Now I'm and I'll let you know this is a brand name.
Oh shit. Okay. A brand name. A softener or a filter.
Ate the
This
water
might be
fruit.
regional. I hope
So-
it's not regional.
What region do you live?
Midwest?
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, they
it's a
ate the-
Utica expression.
Well, they ate the water fruit, so clearly they are a citizen of Water 7.
Yes. Let's see. A softener or a filter. Water fruit. I'm a I don't know. A snake man.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Aquaman.
No. I was on the fence about this one. Now I'm a Culligan man.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Culligan
No, I've heard of it.
man.
Never heard of it.
A Culligan man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Fuck. Wow. Good one.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
That's a tough one.
Steven.
Mhm.
Oh, brother, where art thy slicked back hair? I ate the pomade fruit. Now I'm a...
Oh man.
Oh, brother, where art thou slicked back hair? I ate the pomade fruit. Now I'm a...
Is this another brand?
This is a fictional brand.
A fictional brand. Oh no. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. I don't know.
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
There you go, Alex.
I want no fop, goddammit. I'm a Dapper Dan man. Fucking love that movie.
The hair pomade of choice for George Clooney in the movie Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
I was trying to remember if it was like the name of the characters. I couldn't remember what their names were either.
All right. Only 2 more of these. So, Zach, put your feet up. I ate the couch fruit. Now I'm a...
Not a lazy boy. An Ottoman.
The
An
will
Ottoman.
of Z. Yeah. There you go.
I thought you were gonna say a
Ottomans
lazy man.
They make it look so contemporary cozy in here.
They call them fingers, but I've never seen them fing.
All right, what's the last one, David?
All right, Ed. Has your problem not been solved? I ate the investigate fruit. Now I'm a...
Man. I don't know, Mystery Man?
No, up for the steal. Has your problem not been solved? I ate the investigate fruit. Now I'm a...
Hitman?
All right.
Let's see.
I
Columbo
mean, they've solved
Van.
some problems.
Don't feel bad. This is a word you already know, you have heard your whole life, and you don't know what it means. I had to look it up to figure out what it means. Now, I'm an ombudsman.
Okay.
Ah,
A what?
what?
I don't know what that meant. An ombudsman.
An ombudsman is if you have like a problem with like a company or an organization, they're like a problem solver.
I thought ombudsmen were in government in some position or something.
I thought it was. I thought it was like the internal affairs man at a newspaper. He's gonna crack down on you.
Wow, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
haven't even heard
All
that
right.
word before.
So that's all you got on the Davey and David backfights?
I do have. If you guys
No, keep
didn't pay
going.
attention to, if you guys did not pay attention to Twitter, I do have a couple limericks.
Oh no. I specifically said no limericks. You could go for it if you want. I'm only 3 questions away from finding all the answers to these.
All right,
Stump jump. Stump OPP.
here we go. Hey, Steve.
Oh,
Actually, let's do because you're up. All right. Oh, here's one. Here's a good one for you. His medical skills he is honing, and his snack preference he's alone in. Would you also believe that he was voiced by Steve? He's none other than Doctor.
one more time.
Steve.
Wait, are you serious?
Come on, Steve.
Steve,
What?
you piece of shit.
You guys, it's like
You voiced him. You were the voice of this character.
His medical skills he is honing.
Sorry,
and his
okay, sorry. No, it's not even that. It's because I was just confused on the rules of this game in the first
It's
place.
just finish the limerick. Finish the limerick. His medical skills he is honing, and his
You
snack
clearly-
preference he's alone in. Would you also believe that he's voiced by Steve? He's none other than Doctor.
Fish boning.
Go.
You have clearly never
it.
listened to Wait, Don't Tell Me.
I
but that's
won.
fine.
I won.
Now you get Carl Castle as your voice message. I mean, his ghost. I
Wait.
guess.
By the way, since this is one of the Stump OPP questions I just got to, but it was one of the questions that David had, so I'm just going to ask it. Sorry to interrupt the limericks here. Who was the man who dubbed Mocktown as the town of mockery? Didn't you ask that?
I did.
Big old
I
Jew
lit-
ball.
Yeah, good old Jew walrus.
There you go.
And none of us got it. Does that mean
Well, David
I think-
Pat knew
Well,
it.
you asked it just
David-
now,
David
and we
got it.
definitely got it. So
Could I get that limerick in written form?
I can get written form.
Can you,
Hey, Alex.
Oh yeah.
This old horse really ups his fam's ante. A secret marine? Well, why can't he? You can't hear his heart beatin' because his appearance was fleetin'. He's
Wow.
One more time. I'm sorry.
That's a hard limerick, yeah.
Really?
No,
That's all
I
for
just
me.
need to hear it again. That's all.
Yeah. You need to hear it again. Yeah.
this old horse really ups his fam's ante. A secret marine? Well, why can't he? You can't you can't hear his heart beating because his appearance was fleeting. He's
Let's see. Wow. Why? What? Shit. Boy.
Can I do it?
go for it.
He's Don Quixote Rocinante.
There you go.
Shit. I was thinking. Damn it. I was thinking a literal horse, but yeah, Don Quixote's horse.
Yep.
Shit. Very, very clever.
All right. Steven.
Mhm.
His physique might not cause a looky-loo, but he's a member of Shank's plucky crew. And it's not in dispute, he found the gum-gum fruit. So 3 cheers for our pal.
Lucky Roo.
There you go.
Oh, that was cute.
Ed.
Uh-huh.
His hair is the ultimate mullet. He absorbs metal without using his gullet. His strength is unholy, he's basically Broly. Let's get trampled on by...
His hair is the ultimate mullet.
Oh, I just got it.
This is super easy, Ed.
Yeah.
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 Go on. Give it to me one more time.
I'll tell you, the answer is not Wapple.
Shut
The
up.
first thing that came into my
His
head.
hair, his hair is the ultimate mullet. He absorbs metal without using his gullet. His strength is unholy. He's basically Broly. Let's get trampled on by...
Oh, Douglas Bullet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember the Colleen interview? Mullet. It rhymes with
Yeah.
bullet.
Yeah, David, that was some good
That's
OPP
right, David.
related.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just last one. And there's kind of multiple answers for this. This beat is a powerful balla, but so cute you'll probably go gaga. He's one part of the town that guards Imple down. Give it up for...
Mina Koala.
There you go.
was
I also accept Mino Chihuahua, but...
Ah.
Yeah.
I was
All
gonna
right,
say
so-
He's the new guy.
So thank you,
that's it.
David.
I'm out.
Thank you, David,
I'm
for
out.
stalling.
Yeah.
Thank you, David. No, you're staying because now you have to answer questions with us, so we don't have to give people things. No, that's not. So we're playing Stump OPP. So we're gonna get rid of all these questions today. We have a bunch. And the reason I was quiet or answering questions wrong, because I wouldn't do that normally, is because I've been researching a lot of the answers to questions that have been sent in. So I have an answer for you guys, as to whether or not you were wrong or right in answering these.
Zach, how hard are these questions, and how many are
These
there?
questions, I'll put it this way: there are some, even though they gave the chapter number and stuff, I do not know the answer to. So we're
right.
going to try and get through these. There's not a ton. These are, you'll see. So by the way, these are the rules, and this is what the game is. So you guys in October, and I apologize again for the delay here, but as you may have noticed, I have been traveling and at conventions and doing too many things. But thank you, Ed, and thank you to the whole Kuja cast, which was amazing, by the way, for taking over in my absence. But now we will finally get to these questions that you guys sent in. All we have to do, we could all work together, not me, obviously, since I know the answers, but you could all work together to come up with an answer. But we're going to play, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style. For those who were too young for that, that just means you have to give a final answer as a group. Do you guys want to appoint one person to give that final answer so we're not all saying who's the one?
We don't need to be that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to determine consensus.
Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Some of these are list questions, and okay. So this first one's a list question, and that's why I warned you guys. Anyway, this one comes from Caitlin, who also is known as One Piece Princess, and she says in chapter 847, including the cover page, there are 13 devil fruit users that appear. Name them.
What?
Whoa.
Cover
What the fuck even chapter is this? I don't even know what chapter.
All right.
What are numbers?
847. Try and you could figure out what arc you're in. I would start there. You can.
847 is got to be
That'd
Whole
be-
Cake Island.
Yeah, it's the middle of Whole Cake Island.
All right, so
Wait.
I'll tell you are correct. So
Okay.
from there, yeah.
Wait, so but what's the question again? What?
So
All the
I'm
devil
gonna-
users in the chapter.
Yeah, so there are 3 on the cover and 10 off the cover, meaning in the chapter itself.
Oh man.
I don't understand this question. There's no dumb pun.
Charlotte Oven, one of them.
So you guys could either if you want to come to a consensus, that's fine. Just let me know, or if you want to just
Yeah.
guess random ones,
How many
you can do that too.
My guess is that 847 is the chapter where Luffy's fighting,
Here, can we can we bend the rules here and just can we ask what the title of the chapter is?
Well,
Is
that
that
I gotta
the-
look up.
fair?
But if you give me a minute,
like all the trivia questions that stump us are just, wow, name like 20 characters. It's like,
This to me sounds like Luffy versus all the Charlottes after Sanji kicked him in the face.
I'll give you the chapter title because this is an extremely difficult question in my opinion, and there's no way in hell I could imagine answering it. So let's see. 847, you were correct, is Whole Cake Island. Early-ish Whole Cake Island. The chapter title, let's see if this helps you at all. Luffy and Big Mom.
Okay, well,
there's two of
Luffy and Big Mom.
This is
Large
such a
mother.
random. This is such a random ass chapter. There's like, I think it's a bit of a cheap question. What
I
about
think we
this?
should just.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna name all 13, and all you have to do is name the devil fruit power.
Oh,
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
I like
Is that
So
gonna be
so please,
difficult?
That sounds easier.
it's much
Like-
easier. I don't know how the hell you would name
Is
these
it-
13 characters though.
This is
Like,
how you fight back against the listeners.
the machine. Yeah. Because like I know I'm sorry to Caitlin, but I don't know how.
That's
Like, I don't
that's
know how
asking
to give
for
this-
too much time
It's
for a
asking
single
for a lot.
question.
So yeah, that's the problem. So I'm
That's
just gonna name
like
the
saying
character.
name
and come to a
do all the
consensus.
dialogue in one chapter.
Exactly. It is kind of close because it is. So I'll tell you right now, it's the chapter with like the library and stuff and Big Mom's.
that's what I figured.
what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
It was after Luffy got captured. So
Okay.
I knew it was like
So-
around there.
There are 3 on the cover. First one is Manchuri. What is her devil fruit power?
Oh fuck.
And let me know when you
Manchuri.
come to a consensus.
man,
She is a man who became a cherry.
She's got the tears.
Is
No,
that
it's
true?
a heel.
It's the cure fruit. I want to say.
Yeah. Heel
I
is
trust Steven.
correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Next one.
I'll take it since it was said. Cub.
that's the
Beetle fruit.
beetle. Would it be beetle fruit?
No, it's the
No.
no, it's
Come to a
the
consensus. Yeah.
bug fruit model rhinoceros beetle.
Perfect, Alex.
Nice.
Big
like-
bad beetle cub.
Leo.
Leo is the stitch fruit.
Or the so
Yes.
fruit.
So
Yeah.
damn it, I'm not going to say anything anymore.
No,
I think it's a grapefruit.
It's one of the two.
Stitch
In
is
Spanish,
there,
it'd be called the asi fruit.
brulee. We're off the cover.
The mirror fruit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Chopper.
Ah,
Oh God.
The
the human fruit model human.
Chop fruit.
Wait, is Chopper
Model
Person Man?
adorable human. No,
Chopper
he
really
is.
is person. Man.
Chopper is person man.
He's
He is
dwarf
the
man.
Yeti.
Big Mom.
So fruit.
The so fruit. Yeah.
Yeah. Montour.
Mutt dork.
Got the
That is his technical name.
Books fruit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Book.
Jeez, what a
Paris
nerd.
Sparrow.
he's got the lick fruit.
Opera.
No, he doesn't.
It is.
No, it's
It is the
candy
lick fruit.
based. So.
No, it's lick fruit. I gave it
Oh,
to
it
you
is?
already. Stop
Yeah.
arguing about it.
What do you lick up a staircase? What the man? What happened?
David
Opera.
has no idea what's going on right now. He
I
doesn't know any
really
of these
don't.
characters. No idea who any of these characters are, do you?
Oh
Started
yeah, I
listening to the
forgot.
podcast after this.
I so forgot that you weren't caught up. This is perfect. Opera.
Is he not?
He's kind of caught up.
Yeah, he's
I
mostly
have-
caught up.
I mean, you listened to that. I have spoiled
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
100% on One Piece, and I have absorbed through osmosis almost everything, except I don't know what happens in Zoe or in anything with the
Okay, got it.
big place where they fight a lot.
Right.
You mean all of the
that.
places?
Basically, I only watched the dubbed anime for a very long time. So I go up to the end of Fishman Island, and then there's a 2-year gap in my knowledge. So yeah, no, this is very exciting.
Just
I'm
like
going to be a
with the
big
Straw
help.
Hats.
We're not even halfway through this
Opera.
question, Zach.
We're most of the way through this question. Opera.
He's got the
cream fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cream.
Yeah. Gillette. Or
Gillette?
Gillette. I like Gillette
Gillette's
better.
got the butterfruit.
Yeah.
that's
Some
right.
guy named Luffy.
The gum fruit, yeah.
Baratamago.
Ooh.
Was it the hatch fruit? Steven? Do you
No,
remember?
Is it the egg fruit?
I think it's just the egg fruit.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Brook.
Who?
Brook.
Oh, the revive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good job, guys. You got through question 1.
After we bent our rules.
After we bent the rules. Question number 2. Oh, I think we asked this one. Yeah, we
What
did
is your
ask this one.
favorite color?
Jew
Blue,
wall.
no yellow.
Okay, question number 2. This was a interesting but like unconfirmable question, so you'll see. This one comes from Nate Smith. So like if you get this wrong, I guess you got his question wrong, but he was you'll see. The
Let's
death
talk you more busy.
The death of Brooks' quartet is eerily similar to the opening scene in what great animated film?
Yellow Submarine.
Yep,
Nice.
Whoa.
that's it. Yep. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know the
Was
Beatles
that
died.
confirmed? I don't think that was.
They told you Paul was dead. You just
Yeah,
had to
but
listen.
he was
right.
always dead.
Was that confirmed, by the way?
No, Jew Walrus was Paul.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Okay.
And Baron
Sam
Tamago.
Brown.
Yeah.
Sam Brown has a question. In the Battle Fruits 9 cover page, what fruit was Frankie themed after?
Oh,
Blue Raz-
no.
no.
Wait.
Not.
Let me hold on.
Is it strawberry or raspberry?
It was blue. It
Yeah.
might have been a strawberry because Luffy, I believe, was a cherry.
He was an apple.
He was an apple. Yes, he was an apple. No,
Let me know when you-
raspberry didn't look like that. It's a strawberry. Say
Blue
strawberry.
strawberry. Yeah.
Strawberry. You're right. But it was like a
Sour
weird
apple.
color. It was a weird color.
Sanji was a
Like
banana.
I'm-
Zoro was a muskmelon, I think.
Oh my god.
That's a
Yeah,
good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
looking
like
at it. It's a weird color strawberry, but like, it is a strawberry.
Yeah, it's not a
Yes.
raspberry, but yeah.
Steve
Yeah.
tickling me by invoking the blow pop commercial.
Oh, because it's freaking it's Pavlovian. Anytime someone says strawberry,
Sour
you
apple.
fall watermelon. Ta-da!
This one's a hard one.
Okay.
This was a hard one because it's basically name 3 people who have reactions to things in this chapter.
Oh.
You're not going to get this. It's better for you guys if you don't. The start of chapter 7. Oh, this by the way is from Jake Singer. The start of chapter 777 opens with the defeat of one of the Don Quixote family executives. But that's not what the question's about. Which 3 characters reminisce about all the horrors this character committed at the start of the chapter? So they're thinking back.
Oh,
So, I mean, you could
is it-
actually extrapolate now that I think about it.
Is it Kyros, Rebecca, and Robin? And the guy was Diamante?
I feel like
Tell me
that's
when you come
obvious,
to a
but
conclusion. Tell me when you come, consensus.
I don't know.
What if it's Kyros? What if Violet's in there too? Because she was like watching everything, right?
He said we're not going to get it, so I feel like it's
Yeah.
probably like the Tentatas talking about Queen or something.
No, I think I was being a little overly mean about the question. I think you can extrapolate it, but it's harder. It's not super easy, but it's also not super hard. It's
Did
hard, but
Diamante
it's not.
go down like literally 30 chapters before?
Well, Trouble was the
Yeah.
last one to go down.
This would be 23 chapters before.
Trouble was the last, and then I think before. Yeah, I think Pika was taken out after
Yeah.
Trouble. So maybe it is Diamante, but maybe the answer isn't as easy. Like it's not like straight up just. Well, Kyros has to be one of them for sure.
Yeah, Kyros, Rebecca.
That's what I said, yeah.
Yeah, Kyros and Rebecca. I think they seem pretty obvious to me, but the third person could be King Riku, or it could be Scarlet. Not Scarlet, Violet. Sorry,
Yeah, Viola.
Viola.
So what are your
Diamante
three?
sounds like a pot. Well, sounds like a pasta.
It
I
is
think that's
actually.
pasta.
This isn't a One Piece character. We're actually talking about pasta.
What
Talking about flamenco.
what horror did the pasta commit? Yeah, so which three characters are we choosing here? I mean, Alex, do you want to? It sounds it's
I want King Riku to be our third.
Sure.
okay. So
Okay.
we got Riku. Who else?
Kyros and
man.
Rebecca.
What if it's Viola? I don't know.
Kyros and Rebecca. Those are the other two.
Is that
Yeah.
final? You guys okay?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Go.
So you should have listened to Steve, but you're not completely, just half. It's Riku, Viola, and the one you were not going to get, Tank. That's his name.
Yeah.
I saw the picture of him, and I had to I'm like, what the hell is his name? And I'm looking straight at him, and then, oh, it's Tank. It's Tank. All right,
Jeez,
next
did you
question.
Did you get turned into a toy? You could.
Tank is the most inconsequential character. Anyway,
Tank Lepanto.
this one comes from Abdi. I'm gonna definitely Mr. Tada. That is his last name. How many days? And I'm gonna give you extra points if you could also say the amount of meals as calculated by Luffy. How many days did Luffy miss his meals while he was unconscious or asleep in the Alabasta arc?
Shit.
That was okay. It was 3 days and 15 meals, right? Five
Perfect.
meals a day.
100% correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
Steven.
Good job.
Wow. Such confidence when you said that, too.
Mhm.
No wonder you're married.
This is why he's.
Thank you.
That was a weird take on that. Next question comes
Wow.
from Jimmy Smith. Here's another list one, but I think it's one you guys could probably get. In chapter 435, the entire crew was given a bounty. Can you name all of the characters as written on the bounty poster and their bounties given in this chapter?
Oh, that's tough. What's
What
the
chapter?
chapter number?
435.
Okay, so
that's
end of
Water
Watch
Water
7.
seven.
Yeah. End of
That's when they all have bounties now.
Yeah.
Damn it. I have most.
Well,
Yeah.
Chopper's was 50,
50.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
This one
Nami's
is
was
epithet.
16, wasn't
So
it?
I think you have to say the full name.
Oh,
As
cotton,
written on
cotton
the-
candy loving Tony Chopper. It's 50.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Burglars.
Chopper the
wait,
cotton candy lover.
Cat,
Yeah, that's fine.
Cat Burglar
no.
Nami.
Yeah.
16 million.
Good.
Yeah. Cyborg Frankie, 44 million.
The
Good.
Devil's Child, Nico Robin.
Or Demon Child, yeah.
Demon Child, 81.
Demon Child.
Right? Because she had 79 before, and then it went up 2 million, right?
I think it went up 80, just to 80 million.
Oh, just went up to 80. You're right, because Crocodile was 81. That's right.
Yep.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
get
I just waited until you got.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Zoro's was 120 million at that point.
Pirate Hunter Zoro, I mean? Pirate
Pirate
Hunter
Hunters,
Zoro.
yeah.
Yeah, isn't that what you meant? Yeah, that's right.
Monkey D. Luffy, 300 at this point, right?
Straw Hat Luffy.
Oh,
No.
Straw Hat.
Alex was right. It just says monkey D. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't actually say in one of the, what do you call it? Oh no, you're right. It says Straw Hat Luffy. It was
Yeah,
covered
Straw
by
Hat
my
Luffy.
Skype window. Sorry.
Yeah, he's 300 million at that point.
What's
Yes,
Usopp's
yeah.
bounty?
Is it Soga King then?
Yeah, Soga King.
Soga King's bounty. I think it was a little higher than Nami, right? I want to say it's 30. Was he 30 million?
Yeah, but you have to. You also are. He has an epithet too.
Right, King of Snipers, Sniper King.
That's it. And
Yeah.
there's
Nice.
one you are
30
missing.
million.
Sanji. What's Sanji's bounty, Steve?
Blackleg Sanji. His
Oh,
first bounty.
It's 70 million something.
Was it 77?
Was it 67 or 77?
No, I think it's 77. 77 million.
And the full. What does it say in the
Oh.
Oda box?
Black Lake Sanji.
There's
No.
one more line.
No photo. Fuck. It says something like no photo available.
No photo fuck.
Yeah, photo not available.
Photo
No
not-
photo fuck. No photo, comma fuck. Perfect. You
All
guys
right.
did really well. That
Bang,
was
next
great.
one.
That was like a good. That was a good list one that you actually all got. Okay,
Greggian performance.
that was pretty Greggy.
Isn't-
We just all have to work together.
Yeah.
Yeah, David, you had a question.
Oh, I think I was just talking about this with somebody on Twitter, but when Usopp gets his first bounty, that's the same bounty that's it's the same number that's Luffy's.
First
When he
bounty,
first-
yes. His
Okay.
first after
Yeah.
Arlong was
Yeah.
30. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
I think
cool.
does he
And
always
Usopp
follow
was
the same
Usopp was
one?
Usopp was on that poster too.
Yeah, and like it
Wait.
does, because like at some point Usopp says like I'm going to be as like strong as Luffy is, and so when he finally gets his bounty, he is
Ah,
at the
that's
same
what it is.
level that Luffy was at.
All right, Black North Wind has
Okay,
a
cool.
question. Long time writer. Name the group of 4 members that appear in chapter 196. I guarantee you've already forgotten about them. I have that last line.
Hold on. One more time. What's the question?
Name the group of 4 members that appear in chapter 196.
Was the Click and Claw?
Kick Claw,
Force?
yeah.
What was that?
Claw.
Kick Claw Force.
That's it. You got it.
And they appeared in the most recent ramen commercial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're all
Oh,
drinking
shit, they
something
did.
Oh,
super foul.
yeah.
And they're-
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Black North Wind, yeah, wrote this
Drinking the
before that
Kool-Aid.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raphael.
I remember. I
has-
remember them. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Raphael's
The
question.
most filler canon characters around.
That is so
I was like, I don't want to do
correct.
this shit.
You guys do it. Waste some time while I sit over here.
It's like if the swordsman from Raiders of the Lost Ark just shot himself.
Raphael has a question. Your favorite pirate or Lumbus had one of the best cover stories of all time. Can you name the 3 ships or group of ships that are in Orlumbus's large fleet?
Well,
Oh,
it's
too
one
easy.
more than it's Ed. I think like this.
The Young to Maria fleet. That's the
Yeah.
name of the fleet.
But then the Santa Maria fleet he also has.
Well,
Right?
it's the other ship or the other category of ship.
So we're looking
Oh.
for 3. There are 3
And?
ships.
What is the third?
Nita Maria?
Steven knows it, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just helping you along here.
Yeah. I'm like, this is like a gimme for Steven. That's correct. You guys got it.
Okay.
This is a hard one, and I'm trusting One Piece Wiki for the answers, so let's see how that worked. A lot of these were on Twitter, so I don't have answers, so I had to look for them. This one, and so, by the way, if you wrote in the question and you have different answers than me, please let me know. Ryan asks, and this is a list question, can you name every pop green that Usopp's used?
No.
I remember the one that
correct.
one that we used for the episode title because it was Skull Blast Grass.
Yeah.
I remember Impact Wolf. That's 2.
There was
That's 2.
sick.
That's 2.
which was the one that
Rafflesia.
Steven called 420.
That's 3.
That
Blaze
was
it.
the Skull Blast.
That's
Grass.
Skull Blast Glass.
No, that was
It's-
Plantania,
yeah.
right? Because it looks like weed.
Oh,
No,
Platanus.
Yeah, the
Yes.
plantain boat. Yeah, that's 4.
No, that wasn't the boat.
Platanas is different.
Oh.
What's the one that
That's the
shoots?
shuriken. Planetus shuriken is the full name, but that's fine. You got it.
What's the one that shoots the little Usopp dummy at Sugar? It looks like a piranha plant.
Bagworm. Bagworm. Star?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there was the banana boat one from Punk Hazard.
Yeah, Bodhi Banana. I'll
Bodhi
take
Banana,
that.
yep.
Bodhi Banana.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. You got it.
Bodhi? I'm the
Bodhi banana.
Was that all of them, you said?
No, there's still one,
Mandrake.
2. What did you say?
The Mandrake.
Yeah, Mandrake.
Right?
Yeah.
And
That's
then there's
one.
also a devil,
There's like
right?
2 or 3. Devil, and so it's two more.
What about the bouncy thing?
Yeah.
The big. It's like a big trampoline. Trampolina.
Yes.
Trampoline.
I think there's
Don't
actually.
come back with any more used crutches.
I think there's 2 more. I can't remember if you said both of these. I wasn't like crossing them off, so I'm not 100% sure.
Oh fuck. Well, let's
You're almost
see.
there. So I believe you said devil.
Yes.
You said roof Lycia, I heard.
I said that,
Mandrake.
yeah.
Skull Bomb Grass or Skull Blast Grass. Trampolina. Impact
Uh-huh.
Wolf. Bodhi Banana. Plantinus. Is there anything I
Yeah.
did not say that you said?
Bagworm. Bagworm star, right? Is that what it's
Okay,
called?
I mean that one I didn't have, but I trust that is one.
But I guess that's not. I guess that's not technically a pop green.
Yeah, that might not
Wait.
be proper.
What about his Kabuto, the piranha plant thing? Is that a pop green technically? Right.
I don't know.
Seems-
I only have the names. I have
Shit.
they're all the green star moves, that's what all these
Yeah.
are, I think.
Shit. I think it was. Let me see. Oh. The Take javelin. Bamboo javelin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm missing now 2.
Oh, a Sargasso.
And 1 more. Although I guess this
No matter how you cook it, it still tastes like hot Sargasso. So.
Yeah.
the thing is I don't know if this is the same. Oh no, this is different, but it's extremely similar to one of the ones you said. That'll be my hint.
Oh, okay.
I think you should just give it to us.
I think so too.
Let's see.
I mean, I originally answered your question correctly when I said no.
Let's see. It's
be fair-
similar.
Although if he does get it, then you're technically wrong.
does he do another shuriken attack that isn't Plantanus?
No.
I don't think so. Maybe it's
There's
like a
only one
smaller
left,
form
so.
of the skullgrass. Is it like
I think that was only the one time.
explosive
No.
grass?
Yeah, something like that. You're close.
It's like another explosive grass.
Yes, that's what I just said.
Shit.
Is it just like straight up bomb grass or something like that?
It's fan grass or uchiwaso. I don't know how the Midori Boshi Uchiwaso is how it's said in it's a non-bending handheld fan primarily used for cooling oneself in hot weather.
It's a Wano
Cool.
thing.
That's the last one. No, it was
That sounds like
used in
Punk Hazard.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't get that one.
I'm gonna put that in yellow because you did a pretty damn good job. So like if I'm choosing between 2 and 1 we completely didn't get and 1 we got most of, I'm gonna give it to the person. This one's an easier one. We still have a decent amount to go. 5-Leaf Clover asks, in Skypiea, in chapter 255 in Skypiea, Luffy was running around in a cave, but this cave turned out to be a snake stomach. What was the snake's name?
Nola.
Noah.
Yeah, Nola.
Yeah. Robbie Gottschall has a question. What is the name of the head chef of the Germa Kingdom? Tell me when you have a final answer. Unless you just
It's was it the woman?
I'm not saying anything.
You mean,
This one's kind of
asking
cut and
you guys.
dry.
Yeah, what's her face? Cosette.
Was that? Yeah.
Final?
Yeah.
Yes, it is Cosette. All right, this one I could not find the answer for, so maybe you guys could get this. Raphael submitted another one too, so I wouldn't even count. Oh no, it's a different Raphael. Very similar last name.
Wow. Racist.
I knew you were going to say that. It's also a Raphael C. I'll put it that way. Like it's almost the same last name. My dearest OPP, I ask you on this October day, guys. It's December. What were the fish that the mermaids introduce in Chapter 608 officially based on? Similar to how Kami is based on the kissing Gorami, there are 6 that have been confirmed in total.
Oh,
Do any of you know what this guy is talking? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll
I think
pull
he's
up the
talking about like
chapter,
Hammond and those guys, like because Hammond's like a conga, like an eel.
I'm gonna pull up the chapter.
Yeah, conger eel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember any. Maybe a sunfish. I don't remember any of the other ones.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
actually really.
Introduces them.
Like
No,
you said, the
this-
ones that who they
Or
harass
the bounty
Straw Hats.
hunters, like the bounty hunters from the Hachi cover story, the Arowana and
The macro
Yeah, the Maguro gang.
Macro gang. Yeah.
macro gang.
Yeah, it might be. But the thing is, this is also like I don't know the answer, so I'm just gonna. I'm going to talk about the chapter that he's talking about a little. This is also where the mermaid quintuplets come in, but that's 5. It's not 6, so I don't know if that's what he's referring to.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, so I don't know. Raphael, feel free to let us know. And I guess you stumped us, because I don't know. Anthony has a question. This one's directly for Ed, I think. He didn't say that, but I believe it is in the heart of hearts. Of
All right.
I'm going to pose it first to Ed, and then everyone else could guess it if they want. In Chapter 363, which sword did Chopper bring to help Zoro get out of the chimney? Let's let Ed try first, and if he doesn't know, we'll open it up.
Nobody knows.
Sundai Kitetsu.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just watched this episode too, so I was like, I was good to go. I got your back.
Yeah, he wouldn't. I don't think he would have used the Wado Ichimonji for that.
This one's a fun one. It's tough. It's also a list one, but I like
Wait.
it a little
Hold
more.
on. So it was Kitetsu?
It was
Yeah.
Kitetsu. Yeah.
This is the one that Zoro used to get out of the chimney?
It's the one that he like
Chopper brings him.
Chopper brings him. That he's like, ooh, I sense an aura there. Is that Kitetsu? Yeah. That's the one who gets cursed.
Yes, that's right. Because I remember watching that episode, I was like, wow, of all the swords to entrust into Chopper, it was the cursed one.
I just looked these up, Steve. So like I wasn't given the answer. Like I looked up the answer. So if you're 100% sure I am wrong, let me know. Anyway,
No, you're right.
Yeah, AZ fan says I assume he means the ending song A to Z. In chapter 435, who are the 9 characters seen at the site of Sunny's construction? So as the construction is going on.
Oh, okay. So
I thought this was a kind of fun list question.
Frankie and
Finish the
Iceberg,
list.
Holly,
Polly, Tilestone,
4,
Lulu.
5.
the Square Sisters.
There's 9?
You have to
You said
name
9?
if you have to name characters, not
You said
and
9.
Kiwi.
You said 9 in total,
7.
right?
No, there's 9.
Zambai.
You got 7.
Zambai.
You got 7.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds to get the last one. You have not got it. You could just name the
wait.
rest.
We have 7. There's 8 characters?
You said 9.
There's
I thought.
9. You've got it.
9.
Oh.
You've got it. You've got
Yokozuna?
it all but 1, and that's the one.
Yeah.
Paulie, Tilestone, Frankie, Iceberg, Yokozuna, Kiwi, Mozu, Lulu. Next, Cheap As Toy Collector. Which sea did Robin first enter the Grand Line from? And since I just looked this up, how did she get from the sea to the Grand Line? I'll ask that. That's my question.
Wasn't it West Blue?
That's correct.
No.
And how did she
Okay.
get there?
Boat.
Says it- I'll give you a hint. No.
Oh wait, she gets there by bridge.
No, you're thinking of.
Oh no, I'm thinking of later
You're
on.
thinking of the time scale. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
She fucking betrays people until she gets where she needs to go.
I mean,
right?
that's not what I meant. The red line.
What?
She took the red
Oh,
line.
she didn't go through Reverse Mountain. That's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah. Thriller Bark Rachnid Thriller Bark Arachnid. That is such a David Bednar name. That's
Ooh,
that's all
I love
say.
it.
Um,
I'm reverse engineering the question as we speak.
okay, and also, David, this is in the time that you have read and also watched. So what phase was this is specifically toward me, but I already know the answer. What phase was the moon in during Zorro's fight with Baroque Works on Whiskey Peak?
Ooh.
Ooh.
See, I know what it is, but I don't know how to describe it. I can tell you what it looks like.
Oh, then it must be gibbous because
It is.
nobody ever knows what a gibbous
Yep.
moon is.
And no, David, I did, because remember, I was not given the answer to this. I looked and I'm like, that's a gibbous. I think it was a waxing. Yeah, or was it? When was the full?
It's the
full moon. Yeah, it's waxing.
It's the larger
because
looking one. It's almost full.
Yes,
right?
that's a
Like
gibbous. Yeah, no, because it's full. It's a full moon in Chopper's flashback, right? It's a full moon. No,
I don't
not
know.
flashback. When Chopper goes across the sky, it's over the full moon. So that means it's
Yeah.
waxing. It's
That
getting
makes
bigger.
sense. Yeah.
So if
No,
you
no,
want to be
it would
really
be waning.
specific,
Waning is going
no, waning's
smaller,
getting
and so
smaller.
if they've
No, it's
just
getting
left
bigger.
Chopper,
No, Whiskey Peak's before.
oh,
Drum
that's
Island.
right.
Yeah, so it's waxing. Anyway,
Okay, yeah.
I don't even
What's
think he
next?
was asking that. This is from Mike Morris, chapter 163. Koza's dad digs day and night in the city of Yuba, trying to revive the Oasis's former glory. What is his name?
Toto.
Toto.
Yeah.
He blessed the rains
Baker.
down in Alabasta.
His eyes tell me, "Hurry, boy, she's waiting there for you."
How come we've heard that joke?
Baker
Because Toto has never showed up again.
I guess that's true.
And I would be castrated on this podcast for we're deep into a discussion about Wano. I'd be like, hey, you remember Toto from Alabasta? And Zach would be like, shut up.
Baker
So-
Turtle has a question in chapter 710. Law, Usopp, and Robin go to Greenbit to hand over Caesar as part of the deal that they made with Doflamingo. When and where exactly is the deal supposed to take place? When and where? Specifically.
Like 3 p.m. at the Western Beach. or something
It's
like that.
Southwestern Beach.
Yeah. That was
Is that
like
your
the
final
South
answer?
Beach.
What's
Does
your
anyone
final
have a better guess for the time?
I don't know about the time though.
3 p.m.?
I mean, that's what I remember. I don't
Yeah.
know for sure, but
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so
Let's
3
say 3
p.m.
p.m.
What beach?
Southwestern Beach, right?
Mhm.
We're gonna go with that.
Southeastern Beach.
No, yeah. I was about shit. I didn't get it in a time
Sorry.
because I realized
Sorry.
position.
That's a tough one. That's a good.
That's a good question. I like that question.
Well, that's how you stump OPP.
Now this
yeah,
is
that
my
by giving
favorite.
us lists. You list
This
people.
this is my favorite question because I did not know that this was the answer, and it's a great answer. R.L. I'm sorry if that spoils it for R.L. Smith here. Who is the hobo that informs Bellamy about Luffy's then current bounty in Jaya?
Who? He has a name?
He
Yeah.
has a name.
Oh, this is some wiki bullshit.
What's the Japanese word for old drunk?
Something.
Oh, this is a wiki bullshit? Like, do you know where this may have come from?
Oh, I'm almost
Probably look it up.
positive this guy doesn't have a name in
He wasn't
the series.
named in the manga. I'm pretty sure it was like a data book thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but that's, yeah.
Technically counts.
That does count. As far as we're concerned. I'll tell you the source if you want. It's from One Piece Deep Blue Characters World, page 212. So, according to One Piece Wiki. But it is an amazing name. And you guys will remember it henceforth. I'll put it that way.
All right, I think it's just like the Japanese for old drunk, isn't it?
Do you guys want me to tell you? Or
Wait, is he the guy that's pissing off the docks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's got to be
You
something
know
like
his name?
Piss Take.
Oh, I wish. That would be better, actually. Any guesses or no?
No.
Broken Capella Ricos.
His name is Jobo.
This what?
Jobo?
He's a hobo named Jobo?
Hobo named Jobo. I love it. I'm sorry. This one I did not have time or energy to actually look up. So if you want to, you could do this. Reverse Eye Patch says, what is the first named attack we see each Straw Hat use? And I did not do this, and this will also take a while, so we could also save this one.
The long one. The first named attack?
What?
Well, Luffy's is
Gum Pistol. Right? Yeah, I didn't look these up.
Zoro's is Onigiri.
Yep.
Nami's is tricky because she doesn't name her attacks until she gets the Kleem attacked.
No. Oh, yeah, it's true. The Kleem attack.
She doesn't with a pole? She never just hits people with a pole and says, pole attack.
All right, Zach, let's not do this if you don't know the answers.
Yeah, I don't. So we'll go back to that, or if Reverse Eye Patch would like to send us all the answers and make my life slightly easier, thank you. This one comes from Frankie Skywalk, and this is a good question. In chapter 230, while out searching for the South Bird, and you please come to a consensus for this one. Luffy and Chopper discover a treasure potentially as valuable as the One Piece itself.
Heracles Beetle.
What is this Yes.
Yeah,
Hercules Beetle.
Yeah, we all do that one.
That's fine, yeah. Heracles is the guy, but whatever.
It wasn't the Atlas Beetle, it was the other.
Yeah, that's why it's a little bit of a trick question. This one I did not know off the top of my head, at least. Angel GR89 asks, in chapter 160, we are introduced to Baroque Works agent Ms. Doublefinger. By what other alias does she go by in that chapter?
Paula.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Paula. Got a haircut. She's a little uptight.
She actually looks a little like her, too.
Which, is it the Viz manga that says Pola instead of Paula?
Viz says Pola.
Maybe, yeah.
Paula! P-O-L-A.
Shame on them.
Wait a second. Nick Fridge says, name, and this I don't have answers for, but I think we could do it because I think there's enough. Name 3 characters who weren't originally captains of their pirate crew, but later became captains. Like, I think
you mean like Marco?
Jinbei.
Hold on, Django.
Wait, is Marco officially a captain? I guess he is.
All
Yeah.
right, let's slow down.
Jinbei's a good one.
Let's start over. Our first. Who was the first person to say something?
Yeah, Arlong is a good one.
No. Django. Django was the
Yeah, I said Marco.
Wait, Django became a captain?
Yeah.
Of a pirate
he was the
crew?
captain of the Black Cat Pirates. Who do you think was the captain those years?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Shanks and Buggy.
Yeah, I guess.
Shanks and Buggy.
Well,
Jinbei too.
So we're good. We're good. We got.
All right, we got it. We
six
got
right there.
Hang on. Just to argue, just because we need more time with this. Is it asking people who served as pirates who then became captains, or people who took over crews that they were a part of?
I don't know if we've seen.
So they said name 3 captains. That's you make a good point. They said name 3 characters who weren't originally captains of their pirate crew, but became captains later. It's a little vaguely worded. I would say
Jinbei and Django
Jinbei
still count, though.
Yeah, Jinbei and Django
definitely
still count.
And Marco would too.
Yeah.
I think those 3 either way would count. I mean, it's vaguely worded, so
right.
I think.
I declare us victors. Let's move.
Yeah.
I declare us victors as well. Next one, Grimpeace, friend of the show. What is the name of Duval's pet?
Motobaro.
Yeah.
Okay, you got that. David Welsh, or Welshy Daniel, says, what... I love this question. It is a list question, but I love this one. What is the name of all the supersonic duck squadron?
Oh, fuck.
This is a good question.
Okay.
Duck A, Duck B, Duck C, Duck
C.
D.
I knew Steve was going to make that joke.
Mumbly,
one.
Linky,
Joe.
Clyde.
Joe. Do you guys not know?
No, I don't.
So there's Karoo, there's Ivan X.
Yes.
I want to say, what is it? Samurai, I think, is one of them.
With the hat, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to ask... okay, they have a different name on Wiki, but that's probably what it is. Yeah, I trust Steven on this more than I trust the Wiki.
Going off of
off of memory. Yes, I do. Go ahead.
On the Wiki, Samurai is called Knight.
All right.
There's a few more left. Yeah, one you guys know. The rest you don't, probably.
I mean, this is fun. This is actually a really funny question because I never bothered to learn their names. And I even thought about maybe I should learn the names of these guys.
One of them is Stomp. That's
Yes.
right.
So you're missing
Stomp or Clump or some crap.
You got 4, I
Storm.
think. You're missing 4. You got half.
Man.
We're not gonna get.
Yeah, we're not going to get it.
Okay, so here are all the answers. Karu, Stomp, Ivan X, Cowboy, Bourbon Jr., Kentorus, Hikoichi, which I think is Samurai, I'm not sure.
I was thinking of
And Eyelash, who they listed as Matsuge, which I don't.
Right.
I'm guessing means.
Oh, yeah,
That's
Eyelash.
just
Yeah.
Eyelash,
he's
Matsuge.
an honorary member, yeah.
Yeah. So good job, Daniel. That did actually stump us there.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah. Good question. Eric says, "Hey, One Piece podcast. My trivia question is for chapter 754. When Kanjuro was first introduced, what was he eating in order to survive while hiding?" I could not find a definitive answer myself,
He was
but
eating
I know
he was
it's
eating
one
a
of the things.
daikon, wasn't he?
Is he eating a daikon?
It was like lettuce or cabbage,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, cabbage that he'd drawn himself.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the answer.
Oh, Conjuro. I was
daikon-
thinking of Edom.
Yeah.
So that's
Um,
the Conjuro Club.
Okay, this one
Yeah,
stumped
okay.
me, and I looked at the chapter carefully, and if any of you could figure this one out, please tell me. Anita says, in chapter 911, why does Hihimaru, baboon, whatever you want to call him, change his sword grip from left-handed on page 3 to right-handed on page 8?
Is this
maybe
a magic
this is an
xylophone
SBS?
question?
Yeah, I looked at the chapter bit by bit. I don't know. Do any of you guys know the answer to this?
It's baboons are ambidextrous.
I mean, that
I'm
could
just gonna
literally
say
be... Yeah, it could be an SBS question. I could totally see that. Anyway, next question. I have no answer for that. I don't know. Scary Feral Hog says Robin's attack names are in 3 different languages. What are they? And also, bonus question, how is it possible for Robin to be so amazing and beautiful?
3 different languages?
This
I think
is
it's just
Grant asking, and it has a pseudonym.
It's
This is just French and Spanish.
yeah, French and
And
Spanish
and
and English.
Yes.
In English.
Clutch is an
Clutch,
English word. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's true.
Yep, you got it. This one, if you're a One Piece podcast fan, you better know the answer. Kino King says, hey guys, what's the name of particles that make up the island and sea clouds in the White Sea?
Pyrobloin.
Good job.
Monopoly particles.
Yeah.
Monopoly
Bloin,
particles.
yeah.
Oh, he's coming back for the 700, right?
Oh, Casey, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Casey, 600. He'll be here next week.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. This is the second to last question. Taylor Made DP says in chapter 103 on page 3, the 4th panel, this person introduces themselves, I'm going to say in my favorite way throughout the series, at least in the anime version. Name exactly all 5 things that this person lists.
What?
Wait, what?
I'll say, my hint will be Ed. You and I remember, I think we watched this for the first time. Like, this is an early scene, but it is the fucking funniest introduction, in my opinion.
Repeats
Yeah, repeat the whole thing again. Yeah.
So, in chapter 103, on page 3, the 4th panel, this person introduces themselves. Name all 5 things they say to introduce, the 5
it's
characteristics.
Yeah.
It's Crocus.
What does it say?
So that's his name.
Doctor. Doctor would be 1, right? Guys?
I don't really know what we're looking for here.
Yeah, I'm not.
Maybe it's
He
just
says
listing
5
these,
things.
listing the running bits that
He's
he does.
describing... No, wait, is it 5 things describing
About him.
himself?
Yes.
He's a joker, a smoker, a midnight toker. Some people call him.
Oh my god, exactly.
Some people call him
Space
Gangster
Cowboy?
Space Cowboy. Others call him Maurice. And that's 5 things.
Do you want me to just say it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost done. His name is Crocus. He is the keeper of the Twin Capes Lighthouse. He's 71, a Gemini, and his blood type is AB.
Oh, that's right. He does do that.
He's the first Beaver card.
All right, last question. It's a list question. Oh wait, why don't I have the person? I don't have the person who asked it, so I will ask this at a later date. Sorry. So we'll end there with the Crocus question, which is a good place to end. Anyway, let's round off.
Whew. Oh my god.
This has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 599 for December 8th, 2019. Huge thanks to Henry Thurlow for coming on and really explaining and taking us through the animation process for One Piece. That was really cool. And also thank you, David, for your many, many, many questions. And also thanks everyone out there for sending us their questions and stumping us on more than one occasion. I think we did pretty good, though, considering. I'm a little surprised how well we did. Good job. So let's go around the horn. Where could the good people find all you guys? David.
You can find me at Ycarps on Twitter. That's YKARPS. Sparky spelled backwards, but so it doesn't spell Y-Craps. I tweet a bunch, and one day I'll finish up my One Piece read-through. Probably not this weekend.
Okay. Hopefully soon. We also had Steven on.
You can follow me if you like on Twitter at Translatosaurus.
I do want to, before we go through the hosts, big shout out to Sam at Lucky Chainsaw. If you don't follow him, he's on Anime News Network. He's everywhere. Follow him. And Alex.
I'm on Twitter, of course, as dude exclamation all one word. Please follow me. I'm also on Instagram under the same handle. Listen to Toho Yaro, the Japanese Film Club podcast that I do with Joey and Scott. Our latest episode is the live-action Yatterman, and very soon we'll be recording our next episode, Gokei Body Snatch from Hell, with special guest Casey. So check that out. Also, check out Super Art Fight. We're usually around the DC or Baltimore area, but we will be at MagFest. So if you're going to come to MagFest, then see us.
Thank you. Steve.
You could follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Steve Yurko is the username. You could also listen to me on other podcasts like The Deep End, Toon Sweet, and yeah, you'll find me at MagFest as well.
Ed.
Well, Zach, the podcast can be found at you're Zach _Logan on Twitter. I'm Edward E. One Piece. I'm also at Weeb Trailers. Podcast can be found at OnePiecePodcast.com, Twitter.com, YouTube.com, and Facebook.com/One Piece Podcast. One Piece Podcast is our Gmail address. You can send us an email there. One Piece Podcast is our Skype name. Please support us, patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. You can subscribe on SoundCloud, subscribe on Spotify, subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts, or call us on our phone number, Zach.
And that phone number is 347-497 Maji. That phone number again is 347-497-6254. Call anytime.
Anytime.
With your questions, your comments, your theories, or why Bartolomeo is your favorite character in One Piece. As it should be. So I was gone for a little while, but if you need to hear more of my beautiful voice, I would suggest you subscribe on Patreon at patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. We posted our full panel from Anime NYC that Steve and I did, which included a live manga recap that happened just like an hour after the chapter came out, I believe, or a little less. So make sure to listen to that. We'll also probably have a new Crewing Around episode pretty soon where I could talk about my ridiculous Argentina adventure and anything else you guys want me to talk about. That's also all, again, at patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. Also, we have some of my favorite alternate title and episode images while I was gone. Those are also posted there. If I haven't said it 8 times, I'll say it again. Patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. Check that all out there. We'll be back next week with our manga recap of Chapter 965. We'll all be back. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe someone won't be. We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so this is the part where we do the trivia.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
This is episode 600?
Next week. This is 599.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
All right, guys. Yeah, I'm
Bye.
going.
All right,
It's late.
I'll be here.
It is late.